Again, don't take my word for it as Shabbos Kestenbaum, the Jewy Jew.
Hardy and fist, hardy and fist. You can be sure that we're both on a list. Hardy and fist, hardy and fist. You can be sure that we make the moose pissed. Streaming through history, uncovering mysteries as to why the whites are living in misery. We keep the audience salivating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of the ever-evolving small hat wizardry. Hardy and fist, hardy and fist. Let us show you what you might have missed.
And it looks like we're live.
Yes, we're live. Welcome back, gentle listeners, to another episode of Artie and Fist. Tonight, the world hangs in the balance. The sound and smell of hand rubbing can be heard all across the Middle East as the world holds its breath, waiting for war. Yes, war. All of the hummus in the world will be flying left and right. There will be much kvetching and shrieking and Muslimic sounds. Muslimic ray guns will be alight over the region. We await the final denouement of the Zog Empire. I don't know why. I just really need to
Because of the intro. Because it brings it out of you, right? Very old timey. You had to be on like a ham radio.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it goes. Yeah, it's mate. Oh, dude, everyone. Then the war, mate. I just I guess the real question, right? You know, our sponsor for tonight. What would it take you? What would it take to get you into dying for Israel, right? Now, look, you know, we've got many options, right? Social media, success, prostitutes of an indeterminate age, right? Like, you know, look, fame, fortune, look, all of these things can be yours if you will just get off your ass, American man, and go and sacrifice yourself for the chosen country, for the chosen people. Honestly, I'm very, very disappointed in all you Americans, right? Not just being like, look, I know Iraq was a disaster, right? But as Vance has said, we have to stop over-learning from history. That's an actual quote.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, we're learning too much from history, okay, right?
That's going to coincide perfectly with me showing Nick Fuentes' deep dive on the history of J.D. Vance. It's poignant how this works out.
It's going to be a quick in and out, right? Just 2 more weeks, bro, right?
Stop the spread.
Government will fall, right? They will be welcomed as liberators. Democracy will flourish across the entire Middle East. Look, you know what they say, right? Fool me once, shame on. Fool me. Look, you can't get fooled again.
Classic. Too true all the time.
How you been, man? You looking forward to the war? You got
Me?
like a nice front row? Yeah. I know. Like, you know, you like a nice war. You know, fucking.
You know what? I'm already starving, so I won't need too many rations. Okay, I'm used to operating on no food right now.
You're looking forward to a nice meat missile, is what you're saying?
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I thought so. How you been, mate? You all good?
Me? I'm fine. However, fellas, we have an ortho down. We have an ortho down right now, okay?
Somebody grab the cross in the holy water. Ortho down. Down.
As of 2 hours ago, Jim Bob cannot stream, okay? Let me just play this right now.
Hey, all. So for those of you who don't know, during a live stream, YouTube took down my video and live stream, and I guess due to a firearms violation, where during a live streamer can't depict or hold a firearm. Now, I was wondering where this happened. When I played a skit from Ortho Thugs, the intro to one of the skits, I'm holding a toy rifle, and they flagged that. They denied my appeal, and so I'm left without a live streaming capability. I actually don't know what to do about this. I've tried to contact all of the available resources at YouTube. I don't even know if I'm speaking to a human over there or it's just an automated response. If there's anyone who listens to me, who's a fan, who knows people at YouTube who could figure this out, they didn't give me a strike. They didn't give me a time frame of when they're going to reinstate my live streaming capability. This is definitely my livelihood. I actually don't know what other options I would take. People could say Rumble or this or that, but it just doesn't have the infrastructure currently that YouTube
Correct.
has. So I actually don't know what to do right now, honestly. So if you guys have any ideas, any contacts, any leverage, let me know, I guess, in the comments. I guess I could keep making videos, but
Fellas, here is what you do. Okay, so we have the banner at the bottom. Now, I'm on a backup account. I don't have any reach on X. What you have to do is you have to go on X. You have to @Team YouTube, because this is how people get things done. They @Team YouTube. If you look at the replies, it's people adding Team YouTube. What you have to do is swarm them with the same account and message over and over again. So, @ByJimBob on X is his X account. So you have that in there. So you @Team YouTube, and you let them know that @ByJimBob, which is on X, his YouTube account was falsely struck, and he is unable to stream right now, and that they need to look at it. His YouTube account is youtube.com/@MadeByJimBob. That's so Team YouTube can go there and know which account you are referencing. What he should do is have Andrew Wilson or any larger creators that he knows also tag @Team YouTube. This is the only way to do it. There is no customer service at all whatsoever. So, fellas, Ortho Bro down during Lent of all days. Okay? This is the only thing that can be done. They have to be brigaded. They have to be bombarded. I will leave that there and reference to it throughout the stream. Me, I'm hungry. That's how I'm doing. But me, I'm starving.
you got the Lenten munchies, mate, right?
I mean, I'm going hardcore, baby. I'm going super hardcore.
Mate. Look, yeah. So look, check out. I hope Jimbo. I mean, that's a rookie mistake, man. Like, don't ever.
We're not going to talk about rookie mistakes right now. Right now,
yeah.
Once the channel's up, then we will talk about alternate platforms and how important they. I mean, he's learning the hard way. He's learning to not slam his hand on the stove right now in a very painful way. I'm sure he will learn from this. But the good news, it's not a strike. It's just that he can't. So something went off. So it looks like it's under review. So the key is to get their attention. Follow the banner at the bottom. @Team YouTube. @ByJimBob, which is his X account, has been falsely struck and cannot stream right now. youtube.com/MadeByJimBob is the account. The more of those that pop up, the sooner they will look at it. It's a very informal system.
I've noticed that they don't really do strikes as much anymore. I think it's because it generates like backlash.
I have a soft strike on the account.
Yeah, they do like this soft.
I have a community guidelines strike, which is not a copyright strike. I think the copyright strike is really what jeopardizes your channel more so than a soft like community guidelines, which are, could be him showing a fake gun for a second in a skit. And then that's what tripped off their system.
Dude, I wonder if I don't know, man. Like, has he been like criticizing the wrong people?
No, it looks like it was, that's all I know, but this is just 2 hours ago. So the sooner that YouTube @Team YouTube on X is harassed, that's the only way you can do it. They don't have any other way of doing it. This is how it's been done in the past. This is how a lot of larger creators have been brought back. And that's the only way you can do it. Fortunately, it's not a strike, so hopefully that gets reinstated. Let us continue the stream.
Yes, let's get into it. We got a few super chats already. Sure. Actually, people coming in oily.
Oily
party for 2 loonies. Don't touch me there. I likes it. Share the stream.
very enthusiastic.
Thanks very much, Arden. And check out, and also check out Arden Plays on
Absolutely.
on, he's a good lad. He's the best mod in the business.
See, that guy's had his Rumble set up for a while now. Okay, this man's hip to it.
He wields the banhammer with both force and finesse. Blue Lick for 2 Canadian loonies. Us Goyam are learning too much from history. Yeah, well, that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
Right? Like, look, they get to have a history. You don't. Okay? Because you might learn the wrong lessons from that history. Good to see some people in the chat realizing that. Bear in the Woods for $5. Parasocial Camera Boy versus Great Value Ben Shapiro. I can't wait to hear what you boys have to say about this debate of the ages.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Who's Parasocial Camera Boy?
You know what? You'll find
out.
This is the we were going to cover
right.
the first initial conversation, and then, FrankenSTEIN comes out of the woodwork, and they end up having a debate. So now our hand is forced, and we have to cover.
I did like the intro song. It's like very, very large sort of shift in tones.
Oh, definitely.
Doing all the new metal, right?
Dude,
it's
the
like
1931 FrankenSTEIN is copywritten. So I had to go all the way back to 1910 and find an HD upscale of it for you guys for no reason. No one asked me to do it. I put this onto myself to do it for no good reason.
Fuck it, 1931 and it's still under copyright. What the fuck?
From Universal Pictures until 2027. Hello!
Oh my God. Waffle. He's the madman. Do you like I got this new graphic. Just for the girthy super chat.
You are the graphics department.
Born too late to die in the Middle East. Born too early to die in the Middle East. Born just in time to die in the Middle East for $100.
And you know what? You know what that means.
And now the Chad does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Fellas, we have a Chad of the chat once again, reigning supreme champion, Waffle, again. The Chad of the chat. Thank you so much.
He can't really be stopped, right? I mean, he's like a little force of nature, mate, right? King Spectre for $2.
Look at this picture.
I have no mouth, and yet I must kvetch. Honestly, that would make a pretty good sci-fi novel. You know, someone should write that. Your Mum's Legs for 20 memberships. Holy crap!
Wow.
Your Mum's Legs are extremely giving. All I'm saying.
Well, it is my birthday, so it's really the one time we can talk about my mom's legs, because in between them is how I got here. So otherwise, I'd be very mad at you. I would be,
Oh yeah. Speaking of happy birthday. Happy birthday, man.
I'm 40 years old, as everyone can tell by my Andy Milanakis voice.
You're 40 years old.
Everyone's gonna continually forget that, just so you guys know. And I already forgive you for forgetting that.
It only gets better from here, Artie. 40 is the new 20, don't you know? I can see you'll be out there pogoing with the best of them.
But thank you very much for the newly found Hard R fellers. The last 2 pieces of content are particularly dynamite, and they're gonna kill a lot of time for you too. So it's me arguing with a black, which I think is very important, and a couple of blacks. And I say the N-word, something you can't do nowadays. It's from 2019. And what was the other one? Oh, we bombard. Oh my God, they're very. I didn't even realize. I should have positioned it that it was for Black History Month. And then we brigade a black man's stream and trick him into thinking that people like him, and no one does. So if you want to know what any of those things mean or look like, definitely check out the videos behind the paywall. Thank you very much. Your mom's legs.
Andrew Corrigan for $20.
Oh, yeah.
Look at him go. Oh, I like that. I like that profile pic. Ingsock.
Nice.
Oh, mate. Very nice. I just finished eating a nice blue rare burger in your honor, Artie. Has the fast broken you of your miscegenation kink yet?
Yeah, I'm fasting to break my addictive habit to miscegenation.
Right.
Now, some people don't know what that means, which is hilarious. And I like to keep it that way. You'll have to dig through the archives, to get up to speed.
does that work? Right? Does it stop your addiction to the big black boober?
No, it's just, dude, my miscegenation, okay, is that Barack Obama is white. What's so difficult to understand about that? There's nothing black about him, except for his purple lips. Aside from that, there's nothing black about him.
Limiting Principle podcast. Hey Patrick, for $2. Happy birthday, douchebag.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much. Thank you for insulting me on my birthday. That's what I prefer.
Cubics for 5 Canadian loonies. Thank you very much. I keep trying to send a funny super chat, but YouTube keeps censoring it. Really? What? They're censoring their own super chats?
I can't believe that.
Oh,
I refuse to believe that.
Aramake Discourse for $5. Thank you, mate. YouTube doesn't really do strikes anymore. They seem to prefer shadow banning and copyright claims. Very effeminate and mooish. Wow.
From what I've seen, the copyright is what kind of gives you like an immediate strike. Right now, I have a community guidelines warning on the channel, which expires in April.
What was it, like a 6-month one or something? Was it?
No, it's a 3-month one, and of course, I don't really know why or what it was for. I actually appealed it, and they said that the appeal went through and kept the warning on my account. I could verify all of this, by the way.
Tortured Wife for $2. Thank you very much. Learning is a slippery slope to noticing.
Yes, it is.
Yep. You really want to stop that with the learning. Agile Walrus for 10 loonies.
Hi there.
Happy birthday, great Goy Monarch.
Yeah, and then like if I have offspring, that's great Goy Monarch the second, and that's like a lineage that goes down.
He is the Goy King. And yes, Nick Nelson for $2.
Thank you, bro.
Happy birthday, Artie. A cake and 3 pepes.
As the Lord intended.
As the Lord intended. Right. So that's all that's super chats. Should we get it? You've got quite a girthy first segment you wanted to get into, didn't you?
Are we? Yeah.
Yeah. We're RTG, mate. Yep.
Okay. So what hold on. I just need you to understand something, okay?
Right, Lindsay posting. Yeah.
Now,
wait, he's on.
We don't have to. We don't have to. We can go into the other content after this.
No. Look, it wouldn't be a proper stream, right, without checking in, right, on little old Jimmy Concepts.
So I need you to understand how he feels about Israel, okay? Listen to this. Now, it's on 1.5 speed. Really take in how much he likes Israel and how he became everything we thought he would become and more.
Shabbat dinner, it's crazy. As an outsider, it's crazy. You have this whole huge family, just so many people coming together. They're all not all of them, but most of them have big families. And then there's these prayers, but people are talking, and it's like people are singing the prayers, but people are also talking and joking with each other. And there's like little kids like everywhere, and it's chaos and order and holy and lived in and noisy and not and special but familiar, and it's all just bound together with love. It's just like the most amazing thing, and they reconnect every week. To
amazing what they can do when no one's getting in the way of them doing it, huh? Isn't that incredible?
Mate, this is
where you had the consent of the city to shut down religiously. Isn't that wild, James?
This is sad. It's just because he's lonely. Oh, dude. I mean,
to each other and to their traditions this way. It's just the most amazing thing. Just the most amazing thing. And so then, that's an intelligent conversation, laughing, funny conversation, games, and then all of a sudden singing and prayers again. It's just such an amazing experience, and the family and the connection. And outside, the whole city of Jerusalem just goes dead silent, just dead silent. Shabbat arrives, the traffic is gone. There are no cars or virtually no cars on the street. There's people outside talking and carrying on like it would have been before there were cars. This connection, again, memory and growth and life and love. I'm telling you. So why did the security guy come back to Kibbutz Nir Oz? Well, I can't speak for him, but he said Jewish values, and I got the real Jerusalem experience.
Okay, so how about Christian value? Like, okay,
wait, just hang on. Right, so what he's basically saying, it's like the COVID lockdown, but every week.
You say it again?
It's like the COVID lockdown, but every week, right? Like,
apparently,
the city is deserted, and right, like the traffic stops, and everyone's like shut indoors.
Yeah. So James Lindsay,
is my mic?
you know
is my
the
mic loud enough?
yeah. Just
Yeah.
so you, I'm reading things. Somebody
Okay.
said that Spoon Man mentioned me, and I might do a stream on him tomorrow. So I was just very curious. About that.
You're live. Don't be reading about your detractors while you're live.
I'm supposed to read the chat when I'm live. I see. Now, if I was James Lindsay, I would go, oh, well, if I read the chat, you're mad. And if I don't read the chat, you're mad. So I just can't win. So I'm going to be a huge asshole my entire life. It's essentially that.
Are you gonna make like an Artie was right jar? Like, and just, like,
no,
fill it with your
I
own
hate
quarters?
that. No, I don't care about being right. I care about being understood. And hopefully I make such a compelling case that people think I'm correct. That's what I like. Me personally. I know that's a crazy concept.
Sounds very antiseptic to me, mate. Right? Like, you should want to force your beliefs on other people, right? Through sheer like force of retardation, right? That's the James Lindsay way.
Yeah. So I mean, so now Nick Fuentes did talk to Joel Webbon.
Wait, hang on. I've got some.
See, you got me all had to go. You forgot about the James Lindsay stuff, didn't you?
I did. I'm a bit. I don't know what's up with me today. Right. Okay. So hang on. Let's.
You want to start with your Lindsay stuff or me? I mean, we can both trade off. All right. Here you go.
Yeah. I mean, so he's still beefing with this chick, Kerry Jean Bowler, I think her name is.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's what I got next. Yep.
She's the Catholic who got disbarred from the Religious Freedom Conference for being too Catholic and not, being enthusiastic enough about the nation of Israel. And it just, I don't know, man. He's just like, oh my God. Can you even say a single sentence without dragging some religious identity crap into it? We are not woke. We do not do identity politics. We are not interested in your agitprop. That's
James
right.
Lindsay doesn't do any agitprop at all whatsoever. Him kissing the wall and doing all the things to be mooish as much as humanly possible, and including saying one of the most mooish admissions that you are mooish possible.
Decided nobody needs to know what my religion is any longer, and I'll never tell anybody again.
He has a religion that he won't tell anybody what it is. Oh, I wonder, James. I wonder what it is. You're so
yeah, gee, I wonder what it is. Like, like who fucking cares? But he will go out of his way to tell you if you are or are not a real Christian, right? Because of his titanic intellect, right? Like truly an austere religious scholar, right? Who, it's annoying. So I mean, like, I don't know. He's basically saying like, actually, like Charlie Kirk didn't have a falling out like with the Israelis, and no, and it isn't working. Like, you're ruining it for your bosses and paymasters. I presume she's being paid by like the Muslims or something. I don't know. And he's sick of it, bro. He's sick of it, right? We're all sick of. We're sick of the lies. Why with the lies?
And nothing is ever referenced to specifically. Constant vague posting, constant plausible deniability. He's addicted to it. He's addicted.
Yeah. We're sick of you hiding your evil behind God and Catholics. What the fuck does he know about fucking Catholicism?
He really knows. Well, I mean, there's some Christians that thinks he knows more than the average Christian, right?
But apparently, bros, pour one out, buy a 40, pour one out for little Jimmy Concepts. He's tired, bros. The emotional labor is too much. He needs a new hill to die on. The woke right is far too gross. It is a giant garbage pile. Brother. What's that, brother?
I got you.
Brother.
He needs a new grift to work. Essentially, I mean, it doesn't seem to be working, right? Like, he's starting fights with everybody, but the thing is, because he won't actually debate anyone, everyone's just kind of like,
listen, I understand not debating people, right? Me and you aren't necessarily debate pros, right?
Yeah, right.
But what we are capable of doing is showing what they're saying and explaining which parts we disagree with and steel manning their argument and trying to understand what their argument is. Okay. All he has to do is make a video. OBS is easy. You said this a few months ago, and just do what Sargon does, what Aaron does, what Connor Tomlinson does, and just show what someone says and just respond to it. It should be very easy.
Yeah. Now, this woman, Jennifer Greenberg.
Of the Connecticut Greenbergs?
Of the Connecticut Greenbergs, exactly. Right? If you were a Christian, I could recommend some interesting theological hills to die on. Alas, to which Jimmy replies, well, none of those hills are interesting as an outsider.
He's such an outsider. He's a loner, Dottie, a rebel.
He is going to tell you, though, like whether you are or are not a real Christian, right? But to be perfectly honest, his ignorance of Christianity and the history associated with it is matched in size only by his love for the Israeli people, right? Which is, as wide as an ocean, as deep as a river. It flows through him as water flows through the buffalo.
I wish I could get my voice that low. Hopefully, my second puberty drops at 40. I'm really praying. I didn't blow my candles yet.
They all make the religion wholly unappealing in all regards. Listen, James, just convert to Reform Judaism. I'm sure they'd have you, mate.
Okay, hold on. If he says he has a religion, he's not telling you what it is. Okay, that is the most reform way to do a Moodyism. Okay,
yeah, that's right. No,
like,
I in my personal headcanon, I reckon he thinks of himself as like an enlightened atheist or something like that. You know what I mean, right? So like, probably like that sort of. I mean, obviously he doesn't realize that, the Freemasonic idea of the grand watchmaker or the architect of the universe is fundamentally like a Moorish idea as well, right? But he probably thinks of himself as, enlightened and above such petty things as Christianity. Moodyism, of course, completely different, like so rich, such incredible traditions, you know what I mean, right? Like have you tasted the hummus?
Yeah, that's his chicken masala, right? That's Piers Morgan chicken masala. He's like,
yeah, exactly. What else have we got? Oh, and there's this. Oh my God, this is just. I just like. He's drawing the schizo diagrams again.
Yeah, are you sure? Right? This is what it looks like on the inside of the padded walls in the insane asylum.
Fuck, dude. It's like he gets like locked up. You come back 3 days later, and there's shit like this scrawled all over the walls in his own poop.
Yeah.
But
the Lindsayite sees this and they go, "Ooh, a graph. Ooh, a graphic."
So intelligent, right? What I really like about this picture is the way it's like the left and the right have theories and grievances, right? But the moderates and the centrists have truth and realism, right? And then, at the bottom, you have, God as reality, which I presume is, the sort of the blind watchmaker kind of thing, right? So like there is a God, but he doesn't really care. So which is ironically kind of Gnostic, actually, but what would I know? Then I think this is from Patrick. This is from Patrick from the Limiting Principle podcast. He's a good lad. I would recommend a follow.
He's on the ortho path as well, fellas.
Yes. No, he's a good lad. This is his like version with Lindsay in the place of God, right? A fitting place for such a titanic intellect, right?
He made it look like James Lindsay posted it.
in the future, kosher centrist Reich. Although they wouldn't call it a Reich, they'd call it something else, right? The kosher centrist contingency.
Reich.
Lindsay will be there, right, as a commissar to tell you whether you do or do not follow the proper kind of religion. And I can't wait. I'm sure that the Lindsay Reich will be a glorious place. You know what I mean? Just
hey, they're all about freedom to do what they never tell you. It's always so bizarre to me, democracy. How does that? What?
You're free to do a heckin' wholesome chungus kosher centrism is what you're free to do, mate.
Yeah, freedom for things to stay the same. Freedom, all right, yeah.
But look at this shit. right?
Whoa.
Like we've all seen like the weird political compass memes, and surely like everyone knows like that one guy who one day turns up with a political compass that they've turned into like a triangle or a banana shape, and they're like, actually, bro, didn't you know that like communism and fascism are like literally the same thing?
Yeah, but I need to get your opinion real quick.
Uh-huh.
What's more impressive, James Lindsay's graphic or the macaroni necklace you made for your mom when you were 5? What do you which one do you think is more impressive?
I think more effort went into the macaroni necklace.
Right.
Right. And plus it has the innocence of a child, whereas
Yeah,
this has the
Instead
ravings
of
of
faux
a
academic.
retard. Right? Like, I just, oh my God. I don't understand. Like, what is the right meant to be in the in this formulation? Like, what actually is the right? I mean, is it a theocracy, right? Like, if it's a theocracy, then isn't that sort of like fashy? I have so many questions, but of course, no one's going to ask the questions because he's just so incredibly unpleasant to interact with, right? Like, all the questions that I had to like,
you gotta let me go. I'm too excited right now to follow this with more Lindsay stuff, but I gotta hurry up and get it out of the way.
Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Just this final one.
Yeah.
I think this is the final one. It's random and on. I have met James Lindsay and was instantly convinced he is not only mentally unwell, but also extremely and permanently bitter about being given insufficient attention.
Now that is true. Okay.
I think that's actually like pretty good.
That is
wait.
true. Yep.
One final thing, right? Lindsay's view on how the upcoming war with Iran makes him feel hard.
What?
He's hard,
unwell.
ladies and gentlemen. He's very, very hard. He can't wait for.
He is.
I mean, like he'd die for Israel, right? I mean, you know, all you people in the chat wavering. Like, look at James Lindsay.
You heard how
man.
we talked about Israel. Oh, the people and the love and the growth and the children running around and how.
And the weekly lockdown. Oh, you know, such a beautiful and rich tradition. Oh my God, it's just really, really funny, right? Like, you know, he never talks about Christianity like that at all. Like, just never. Okay, so wait, we got super chats, and then you got another.
Let me just blast through mine real quick.
Okay, go for it.
Very quick. I will need you to read what James Lindsay said and I need you to act like it's not a projection. Read it out loud.
My goal in early 2026 is to keep this woman talking like this for as long as possible because she's completely destroying her own cause. The bad guys picked probably the least likable personality they could have for this operation, which is encouraging. They don't have better. Oh,
how does that not apply to Mossad and James Lindsay like perfectly?
Holy shit!
So Carrie Prejean Belair sees that and she goes, "My goal in early 2026 is to get you to realize being an atheist is the dumbest thing you can be. Respect, repent, Christ is king." And James Lindsay, listen to how antisocial his behavior is. He goes, "Psst, I'm not an atheist, you dumb bitch." And someone goes, "Well, you're name calling her." And he goes, "I didn't call her a name. I said she's a dumb bitch." That is like extremely antisocial behavior. Can we agree on that?
So passive aggressive.
And then someone says very Christian response, and he goes, "I didn't say I'm Christian either." He's nothing. He's just not going to tell anybody. One more time for the people in back.
I decided nobody needs to know what my religion is any longer, and I'll never tell anybody again.
The cherry on the sundae is James Lindsay saying, "Psst, I'm an atheist." Right? This. He can't. Mind you, that was in April of 2023. So he's not going to tell anybody what his transformation was into believing in God. He's not going to tell anybody that he was an atheist and now he's just not, which has to be Reform Moodyism. What else would it be?
Well, I mean, I suppose it could be like Taoism or something else gay like that.
Look at you interpreting him in a good faith way.
I'm just naturally built like that. It's the white in me that makes me want to be like nice.
Okay, well, the dark in me is coming out. James, let's bring to that.
Wait. Super chats before we go into this.
Yes.
Okay. Rich for.
I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. Go ahead.
What you doing, mate?
Someone did a Jurassic Park reference, and I needed to show it. But go ahead.
Rich for $2. Happy birthday, Artie. Spoon mentioned you. Cool.
What does that mean? Spoon mentioned me. I need to know what that means. Please let me know in chat.
You've been mentioned, bro. Matty Ice for $20. Look at him go.
Oh, hello.
Happy birthday, Artie. People have suggested you reach out to Stormy Waters. Him and
Really? I didn't know that.
Did a stream called Reality Isn't What You Think It Is. They talk about Simon of Trent and the end of the Tsars history show. I messaged Stormy Waters.
Can we put the history, like, that's like a fist thing, though.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with history? I'm just going to be obnoxious and try and make jokes as they're talking about history. I feel unwelcomed in the history sphere.
I'm gonna have to do the whole Simon of Trent thing. But you know, I've got some like banned books. No, look, it's gonna be like great. Look, right. I did message Stormy, right? But he hasn't replied. So
Pete Quinones has messaged me, like,
really?
a month ago, saying that he knew you.
Yeah,
so give him a telephone we have going on right now.
Oh, I should message Pete then, actually, which is probably the way to do it. Thank you very much.
Let them know that I'm weird, please. And
Phoenician for $100. Holy crap!
Wow.
Thank you very much, mate. Happy birthday, Artie. I love the community you and Fist have made. God bless, bros. Thank you, Phoenician.
Incorrect, Phoenician. You have built a part of that community. You asked, and I said yes, and that is what's really built the community. So you have built the most engaging part of the community, and I am being cryptic about it because you got to know someone that knows someone to get in, fellas.
That's right.
Okay, I know someone that knows someone. Old school.
We're like a secret society, like that.
We have to protect Sanctuary.
A secret society of racists.
Yeah, real secret.
Waffle for $10. Thank you, Waffle. Do you think the Moos get upset by the fact they can't get a free schmear for their bagels because they're supposed to be circumcised?
Wow.
Wait, that's
bagels complicated.
The bagels are supposed to be circumcised?
That feels like it's supposed to make sense, but I don't know how it does.
How do you circumcise a bagel?
That sounds like you're like setting up a punchline for a joke. Hey,
it does. It does. Is that
there's
is
something
that what
there
happens?
that we're missing?
Is that what happens when you? It's when you take like the hole out of the bagel, right? Is that the circumcision?
It's cutting off an unnecessary piece of the bagel. So by definition and law, I would agree.
It's not unnecessary. It's very sensitive.
It's complete. Yeah, they took out the most sensitive part of the bagel.
Zongjina, for $5, thank you. Do either of you think Germany can ever save itself from the post-war consensus? Out of everyone, they deserve it the least. They fought against it. Mate, Germany in the entire EU, mate, it's so zogged. It's like about the. I think Germany is the only place that is zogged more than the UK. To be honest, right?
I mean,
so
yeah, even more than Japan. Japan has like no self-esteem. I think Germany might take the cake there.
Yeah. I mean, like,
really think about Japan and Germany as countries post World War II and how they're not allowed to feel good about themselves forever into history ever again.
Yeah. Well, the new based right-wing leader of Japan just announced unlimited migration.
Yeah, he needs to import the blacks into certain prefectures. And they were like, oh, and then they announced that. And then the people were like, we're going to kill you. And they were like, well, let's hold off and think about it.
Oh, God. Thank you very much. What else we got? Theodore McCarthy for $2. Like the stream. Indeed. Thank you very much, Theodore.
I always forget to say that.
King Spectre for $10. The child put more thought and consideration into the macaroni necklace and made it out as a gift, an act of love. James's diagram is equivalent to scat scrawls penned out of malice and idiocy. Well said.
Very distinct difference.
Dude. Blue Lake for 2 loonies. Retard Army, we march. Together we win, friends. Indeed. Always support your local friend.
Mm-hmm.
And Rich again for $5. Spoon was doing a vid today and someone wanted you to talk with him. He declined. He thinks you're annoying.
Okay.
You're cool. I bet Spoon does think you're annoying, right?
Because I'm intentionally antagonizing him, and I know he's not going to respond to me, which means I can use him as a
No,
punching bag all I want. I'm excited for it.
It's more than that. Spoon doesn't like Americans. He's one of those sort of like Eurocuck adjacent people that think you're all like
Hold on.
lowbrow and
So Spoon
crass
was doing
and-
a vid today. So does that mean he said it in the live stream? I need to see what he said and where he said it. So was that he was doing a vid today? I assume then that was on a live stream.
Look, I'm sure someone will tell us, right? You know, the internet, the YouTube community is small. I'm sure it'll get back to us, bros, right?
Well, if
You
I
know,
was hypothetically planning a stream tomorrow, I'm just curious, you know.
okay, and Christos for 20
Hi there.
British pound. Thank you very much, Christos. Poor James lost his 5 skin. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you. I didn't know that made him that big.
Oh yeah. No, it turns out that you know, if you're like really goyish a cop, you have a 5 skin. It takes 2 moils to remove it actually. So it's quite a traumatic experience. Clown Town Chronicle. Hey Aaron, how you going?
There he is.
You can check out some of my stuff on Clown Town Chronicle. Actually, me and Aaron are like doing stuff. We got a episode in the works about the conspiracy pyramid. It was fun. Chronically unsubscribed channel. Highly recommended. For $10. Wait, okay, I didn't put up the thing because I was too busy like plugging the channel.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. Thank you.
Pete's YouTube got nuked today.
What is going on?
Out for my boy and subbed to him on his website. By the way, happy birthday, Artie. I bet I know what's going on, right?
What is going on? Oh, hold on. Now, first of all, out of principle, now we have to have Pete on to drive traffic to his alt. So now, no matter what happens, we have to get Pete on as soon as possible if it got new today. So now that is a priority.
I think this is the I think this is a new push, bros, to get all these horrible people off YouTube, like Tucker Carlson, right? Like, you know, they're probably like, look, this is why there are people like Tucker Carlson, because there are other people like Pete Quinones, right? Like allowed to like say stuff and have opinions, and you're not allowed to do that, right? Mate, that's fucking grim.
That's wild. Jim Bob, then him.
Brother Gunther for $5. It's good to be part of such a great community. Happy birthday.
Thank you, bruv. And all he did was ask. He was like, "Hey, do you guys have a little something going on in the background?" Well, maybe we do. Maybe we don't. I don't know.
And Neutral Centrist Lib for $2. Anna Kasparian has gone full woke Reich on X. Yeah, she has.
Only we had the time. But anyone saying Goy and Goyim is now, that just wasn't happening before.
It's just such a weird freaking timeline, man. Right. So you have more Webben v Fuentes.
Yeah. Now this should seamlessly go into your bit on Iran, and I think you have something to say about JD Vance. This is I'm going to try and do a nice quick history of JD Vance from Nick Fuentes. He just does an unbelievable job of connecting the dots. Here we go.
You're suspicious and also dislike. I'm suspicious and like. And so I told you, I think I see like 3 potential story arcs, and one of them is going to win. So on the one hand, the tech bros, Peter Thiel, Palantir, that's not great, right? Number 2, you named your son Vivek. What are we doing? Natural affections. Vivek? You know, like what are we doing? And it's not just that the wife is Indian, but she's Hindu. So even the religious aspect. So it's not just a different race, but a different country, not just a different country, a different religion. Okay. So those 2, I'm like, not great. 2 strikes, not super hopeful. But the third, and I know Hillbilly Elegy, I mean, you don't get a Netflix special without like, this was a
Hillbilly Elegy is a book that JD Vance wrote, apparently, that was turned into a movie. I didn't know about that, but apparently that's what they're referencing.
Yeah, that's his autobiographical book. They were shopping it around the time that Trump got elected, and he was running for vice president. That's where the rumor about him having sex with the couch came from. Supposedly, it's in that. I don't know. I read it.
Oh, right. Okay.
People put money behind it, you know. So who knows exactly how much of it is genuine? But even if just the basic premise of, you know, quintessential Americana, Appalachia, Catholic, white, heritage American, blue collar upbringing, that's the third piece. And if there's any truth in that, and I think there's at least some truth, I'm sure, that embellishment, then I would say that's the hopefulness. So it's like, and I feel like he's going to have a choice. Like, am I beholden to Theo? Am I beholden to some Hindu god? Or, am I going to at some point be like, no, grandma, Appalachia, America first, Christ is king. And so I feel like there is the possibility, but it's one against two potentials that are not great, one potential. So I told you, like, super gay analogy, I get it, but like Star Wars, I see him as the potential kind of, Anakin, Darth Vader, that like maybe he does join the dark side, and he does some damage, but at the end.
So we have some hope cope from Joel Webben, which I'm usually in the hope cope camp, right? Because we don't have a lot of choice. Now, why did
that's a great pause face,
right?
For me.
Just cheery, just a rosy youth growing into his own. And so why did JD Vance marry a Jeter Griffin? Here we go.
Well, I never know though. In Ohio, they kind of, they might have their own Appalachian dialect, but the thrust of the book, if you read any excerpt from it or even watch the movie, he writes about why he married an Indian woman. He said that he wanted to get as far away as possible from his relatives.
I've heard this
because they're failures.
Which I mean, so the one thing that I think a lot of guys would be hoping for is like, look, we'll overlook the marriage to, again, not just marriage to a different race, but someone like from a different country. And the biggest thing is a different religion.
Yeah.
Like as far as, and I've heard people say like, well, she's converted to Catholicism. Is that true?
No, she's Hindu.
So you're unequally yoked. I mean, just biblically speaking, I'm a pastor. I can't, you'll have to humor me. I can't help it. But like, that's a, he should not have married her.
No, absolutely
He should not have married her. And he should be, as a husband, I mean, only Christ, the Holy Spirit has to regenerate and, the heart. So I understand like
Now that is fair where like your wife is Hindu, especially at this time, especially at a time like this. It's not very compatible, right? It's not like a different sect of Christianity.
I mean, she could be sort of an atheist or something, I mean, this is one of the sort of problems with the general weakness of religion. You have all these people who basically believe that it's just, it's just a culture, everyone's basically the same, we all worship the same God. Really? No, we really don't. Like, honestly, right? There are many paths towards the top of the mountain. Yeah, well, some of them go through the fucking tunnels under New York. Is all I'm saying, right? And they don't lead like no. Like ecumenism is fucking garbage. It's garbage, mate.
JD Vance can't save his wife, but I mean that should be like his number one vocation in life. Is like, my wife's going to hell.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly not going to memorialize the fact that my wife literally worships false gods by naming my son after that heritage and culture. And like, so, but all that being said, that's concerning enough in and of itself. But, but I felt like, but he's quintessential America. It's like the Superman, right? He doesn't come from Manhattan. He comes from Kansas, It's like, yes, like quintessential America, farm boy, And so like that, for a lot of guys, a lot of my friends, and even myself, it's like, okay, so he married the Hindu, not great. And he's quoting Aquinas, natural affections, these kinds of things. And he's from Appalachia. I mean, goodness gracious, he's from Ohio, like this is our guy who just made a mistake in marriage, whatever. But when I heard that,
it sounds weird. He made a mistake, brown Hindu, he made a mistake. How do you rectify that? I mean, I don't know what the religious like rules are with marrying a Hindu. Okay.
I mean,
let alone going for president.
Have you seen white women recently though? I mean, like I kind of,
depends on what part of the country.
I suppose that's very true. Yeah.
Because what you just said, I heard before, and maybe I heard it from you. I don't know, but if it's not just a mistake in marriage, right? I mean, you're 21, you're in college, you fall in love, and maybe you're not a devout Catholic at the time, and later on you realize this was a mistake. But I mean, even the Catholic and Protestant ethic would be, if you are unequally yoked and your spouse leaves you, then to let them go to strive to be at peace with all men, 1 Corinthians 7. But if they're willing to remain with you peacefully, then you maintain the marriage. It is your spouse is not a Christian, but it is a legitimate marriage. Therefore, if it wasn't, then the children would be spiritual bastards.
Is that a thing? Spiritual bastards for your children? I don't know these things. Okay, and
I do not.
What you subscribe to?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, I know in Orthodoxy, you are supposed to convert when you marry. I don't know, mate. Like, but Webbins, is he a Lutheran? He's a Lutheran or
Protestant, but I don't know what
flavor.
I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But Paul literally says that. He says, just with one believing parent, the children are holy. So that like remaining in the marriage would be so. So that was my thought. It was like he made a mistake. It was a sin, and that's not being hyperbolic. It is a sin to marry an unbeliever. But he there's a difference in I sinned by entering a marriage versus the marriage being illegitimate and being in a continual state of ongoing sin. And the Catholic position, Protestant position is he's not in sin. He sinned, but he's not sinning.
Right.
And so then I was willing to, okay, so now let's go back to his story arc, his origin story, quintessential American. But if he literally, it wasn't just a mistake, but he intentionally married her because the one good thing he's got going for him, he hates.
Yes.
I hate that I'm quintessential American. Then I'm like, what?
Yes.
It's so over.
It's in defiance. It was like a defiant
And
act.
he said that?
Yes, it's in his book. He says, I went as far as I could go. He said, because I associated my family and my surroundings with everything that I didn't like, which is, and why did he have this spite and animosity towards his family? That's the crux of it. He says it's because they blamed everyone else for their own failures. They are poor, drug addicted, etc., and it's their fault because.
So I wanted to include this because this is a conversation that I had with New GM, where I was positioning it as like, yes, we are oppressed and we are victims of what they're doing. But he was against that kind of phraseology. But then now we had a whole back and forth, very respectful. Although, we both didn't change our minds, but we both got to state our positions pretty clearly. Nick Fuentes makes a pretty good point here, but were you going to say something?
I don't. He's apparently like a part Calvinist, part Baptist. See, this is beyond my pen. This is out of my wheelhouse. I
get it. You don't know anything. Okay. If you don't know one thing, you know absolutely nothing.
I've been rumbled, mate. I've been fucking rumbled. Yeah. It was like weird, right? When I was doing my show Fistery, which is on Mondays at 8 p.m. GMT.
Link in the description.
I suddenly started talking about Cromwell and like it was like the 16th, 17th century. And it's like when you're like walking through a forest and you suddenly like just come into a clearing and I'm like, oh shit, I actually know very little about this period of history. I'm just like, I'm suddenly outside of my wheelhouse. I'm like, I guess I'll just keep reading the encyclopedia then, no, I mean, obviously that's not true. I know everything, right? That's why I have a News Fist was right jar. And it's huge. I had to like put an extension on my house in order to accommodate the massive girth of my News Fist was right jar, and it's filled with quarters taken exclusively from the hands of crying and seething libs. It's a massive, massive collection.
They messed up. Now,
was his family black?
Because of their own failures.
I love how Joel Weapon sounds so prim and proper, and then this laugh after was his family black. This is such a white thing to do.
They are poor, drug addicted, etc., and it's their fault because they messed up. Now,
was his family black?
Dude. That's good. No, they're
that might even be a good drop.
Yeah.
White, obviously, but this is really at the center of all of it, of the Trump revolution, which is like after the Cold War was won, what did the country do? Free trade, foreign wars, mass migration. 1990 Immigration Act, that's really the one that opened up.
This is something that's happened to us that's outside of our control. Sometimes the religious bros are like, oh no, like accountability, like there's certain things that you can't possibly be accountable for. And you have to acknowledge that this is completely outside of your control. And you like, I don't know. I feel like the right wing handles victimization differently than the left wing does. So like you are oppressed and you are being victimized by these people, but I don't think that like they recoil into, it's just like, it's objectively true, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem is that there's shades of that, right? Yeah. I mean, this is the this sort of paper cutout version of both sides, right? The left are always like, oh my God, you poor foreign, stabulon, right? Like nothing's ever, you didn't know when you stabbed that poor girl like in the face like 100 times, right? That it was like the wrong thing to do. Like, here, let's get you like a house and, $1 million and, get you like set up, right? And then the paper cutout version of the right is like, well, you got to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. My daddy worked from 8 in the morning to 12 o'clock at night down the coal mine. He never complained until he died of dysentery at the age of 35, right? Like, I feel like both of these positions are kind of like stupid because there is clearly nuance in this, but what would I know, right?
The floodgates. That's what created H-1B, H-1A, H-2A. That is what opened
Is that
up.
Reagan? Or that's
That was
amnesty?
Bush.
Oh, that was Bush.
Mhm, and
Reagan was the amnesty laws.
Yes, Reagan was
that
the
turned
amnesty.
California ironically blue forever.
Right.
Quintessential boomer.
Yes.
Right. Accomplishing something and then ensuring that the thing you had could never be had again.
Slamming the door shut. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So Reagan delivers the amnesty. You get the 1990 Immigration Act. And then shortly afterward, you get NAFTA. And what they said about NAFTA is you'd hear a giant sucking sound of all the jobs being sucked out of America to Mexico when you open up trade between America and Mexico. And of course, even opening it up to China.
And we should all know that the plot for J.D. Vance to become president apparently started with David Frum in 2017. Don't know if you guys knew this or not.
No shit.
Who was run as a spoiler by Bill Kristol. Bill Kristol's a Jewish neocon, friend of David Frum. He wanted Trump to lose by any means necessary. They ran this guy in Utah to deprive Trump of Utah, which might have cost him the election in a certain timeline. Anyway, Trump wins the election. Vance convenes a meeting after Trump's inauguration in D.C., and he invites all his closest friends. And Frum describes the meeting years later and says it was never spoken aloud, but everyone understood this was a Vance for president meeting in 2017.
Really?
After the inauguration of Trump. And this is damage control. They're trying to figure out how, after we were never Trump and called him a Nazi and voted for Evan McMullin.
Right. How do you pivot?
How do you pivot? Because Trump just became the president. And so this is like a war committee, a war room to figure out in the late 2020s and the early 2030s how he's going to run for president. And I think what the idea was kind of like a wait and see approach. Maybe they thought Trump would crash and burn.
Right.
Because Vance is still attacking Trump after Charlottesville, which is August 2017. And right up through 2018 and 2019, Vance is on Trump's case. I think then he realizes Trump isn't going anywhere. So he moves to Ohio, buys a house there, and he starts being really pro-Trump. And then in 2022, Vance is going to run for Senate. I think he starts at 2021 is when they start doing the exploratory. They run in the Senate primary, and they realize we got a problem on our hands, which is that Trump has not gone away. Trump is going to be a force in the 22 midterms, even after J6 and everything. So Vance recognizes I can't win the Ohio Senate primary between the Republicans without Trump's endorsement. So Peter Thiel picks up the phone and he calls Trump. And Peter Thiel arranges a meeting. And Peter Thiel was one of Trump's original donors. And he's going to be giving a lot in 22 in the cycle. So he's got some motion. He's got clout with Trump. Thiel arranges a meeting between Vance and Trump in Mar-a-Lago, I believe in the summer of 2022, to iron out the differences. And Vance apologizes, and Trump graciously accepts him back into the fold.
Trump, it's so funny because people will be like, oh, he's mean. I feel like one of Trump's biggest failures is he's actually too forgiving.
100%. 100%. Yes. He talks himself up.
Oh, you stabbed me in the back, but you said you're sorry.
Yes. Yeah. And,
which does lead to a conspicuous ascendancy of J.D. Vance. I think we can.
By the way, Julius Caesar had exactly the same fault.
Really?
Yeah. So, chat will know this, right? I think it was like Mark Antony after there was like an assassination attempt or like a war, civil war, some like really massive like beef. Instead of exiling the Senate, the people that were trying to like overthrow him, he was like, look, you're like Romans, I accept you like back into the fold and and then they assassinated him. So I'm just saying, right? Like you can be too forgiving. That's all I'm getting at, right?
Be happy with your replacement, but Vance is so based and he's so based to where like they'd be worried like he'd be even more hardcore than you, and so they'll keep you alive.
And it's like, is that true? Because if Vance is a pawn of Palantir and Anduril, which are defense contractors and intelligence contractors, wouldn't the deep state prefer Vance over Trump? Maybe they'd even prefer him over any of the other picks that Trump could have had for vice president. So, and it's very strange because, well, the ascendancy is so conspicuous. This guy, every step of the way, is being groomed and artificially boosted by these powerful forces and the forces run through Yale and Stanford, these elite academic institutions. It runs through Silicon Valley, these intelligence contractors like Palantir and Anduril. It runs through the richest people in the world, the billionaires like Elon Musk, and even the nonprofits, the media, Netflix, CNN, American Enterprise Institute. And what I try to tell people is think about the contrast between this story and Trump. Everyone was against Trump. The Vatican was against Trump. The Republicans were against Trump. The Democrats, Wall Street was against Trump. Ken Griffin was going to jump ship on Trump after 2021 from Citadel. Whereas Vance, it's the reverse. Trump was a famous billionaire that they had to acquiesce to because he led the people in a populist revolt against the system. Vance is an artificial creation of the system, of the next wave of elites, of Peter Thiel, of all these different institutional forces. And so you have this betrayal where Trump is running for his second term on a platform of vengeance, and we are going to finish what we started, and we didn't do enough, we didn't go far enough the first time, and he rewards as his successor and heir apparent as the vice president a never Trumper who voted for Evan McMullin, who could not be more faithful.
Yeah, like he couldn't. So this was like selected for Trump, very much so, right? Trump on his own volition, no one would think chose JD Vance. It was chosen for him, like years in advance.
Interesting,
right?
I mean, this is the problem with being an outsider candidate. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that very, very clearly in his first term. You know what I mean? He didn't really sort of like know what the fuck he was doing. You got to interface with some kind of like an organization.
Now they are operating in a dialectic, which does remind Joel Webbon of James Lindsay, oddly enough.
We, and by we, I mean you and I and people like us, we are being held hostage by this dialectic, which says...
You sound like James Lindsay, but go on.
Well, dialectic is it's an important concept, which is it forces us to take a certain side.
That's true.
Because you wouldn't ever want to have Newsom. It's like, so we will accept anything the Republicans give?
Yeah, I know.
And there's some moral hazard.
So this is in response to like, well, we have to vote for the right. We have to vote for the right. And Joel Webbon saying, well, I don't want Gavin Newsom to be president. And so this is Nick's response to that about operating out dialectic.
There, because then they can give us anything they want. And the argument will always be the same. Would we have to vote for John McCain?
Right.
Obama was far worse. Far worse. Would you vote for John McCain, like the worst neocon ever, who's a traitor, who's a songbird? Would you vote for Mitt Romney? Would you vote for George W. Bush? No, I would not vote for Bush, McCain. I wouldn't vote for any of them, even if we get Al Gore or Obama. And, what I would say about, in general, this has been a problem for the GOP for generations. And there's a really good piece by Sam Francis. Sam Francis is like one of the brilliant paleocons from a different generation whose career was buried actually by Dinesh D'Souza, helped get him canceled.
Really?
Yeah, he lied about him. He defamed him in a book, and it got Sam Francis kicked out of Washington Examiner and ruined his career.
Wow.
It would happen anyway, probably, but he did lie. And anyway, Sam Francis was very close with Patrick Buchanan, who was an advisor to Nixon and Reagan, and he ran in 92, 96, 2000. And of course, in 92, Pat Buchanan raised a primary challenge against the incumbent president, George Bush. And Buchanan rallied the populist base. They called them the Buchanan Brigades. And Buchanan came within striking distance of Bush in a number of different primary contests, which is unheard of for an incumbent president to like lose to a challenger. You almost never have a primary when that's the case, when you're the ruling party. And, Pat Buchanan lost. I mean, he eventually dropped out. But in the end, he endorsed George Bush. And he spoke at the Republican convention where he endorsed Bush and brought all the Buchanan brigades back onto the Bush campaign. And everyone recognized.
And so I feel like what Nick Fuentes is trying to do is to have leverage, to be a threat, to say we will withhold our vote, like the Moos do, like we saw in the stream a few days ago, right? How they operate as a voting bloc and they go, well, then you're not going to get elected if you don't listen to us.
It is literally the only way to exert pressure on a democratic government
in a liberal democracy.
In a liberal, it is like, and I mean, and this is the huge lie. Oh, under liberalism, we're all individuals, right? But the fundamental premise of democracy is that unless you're a voting bloc, you have no leverage at all against the government. So,
right. So he doesn't seek office so much as he seeks influence to affect who's in office. right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Exactly. But I personally, I don't think that I don't know, man. Even if it gets down to the wire, right? And the groypers or the young white men can sort of like influence the outcome. I would imagine they'll just lie. They'll just be like, "Oh yeah, we're totally going to do like what you want. We're totally going to consider your interest," and they'll just be like, "Ah, fell for it again award." Right? You know, like, I mean, I know you're American citizens, but, you know, have you seen like what the weather's like in Tel Aviv? Right? It's such a beautiful rich
Staying in the hotel room.
Yeah. No,
what
but
are you
like
guys talking about?
seriously, like,
Yeah, seriously, we've covered it.
This is my just beef with the way liberal democracy works. Right? There's no.
We haven't done it correctly. We'll do it right this time. This is what you people don't understand, okay?
There's no.
Wow, you went dead silent when I said that. You really don't like liberal democracy, do you?
I the way it is supposed to work is really good. The way it actually works is really bad. Is the problem, right? It's like one of those things that
actually the way it's supposed to work isn't good, because if we vote for something that's going to ruin the country, then we have to do it, right? That's really the downfall of it.
Well, this is why you've got an executive, right?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be the point, right? Like, because without it, then, you know, technically, you know, the population could vote tomorrow to like spend the entire like GDP on I don't know, M&Ms, right? And like shower all of Washington.
No, just training the kids. It's already there. I mean, we can just look at what the left wants to do, and if they had a voting block to vote, they didn't have time.
Yeah. But I find this is a good example because it's something like just completely retarded that has no redeeming economic value. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So you could bury the entirety of like Washington State under like 5 feet of M&Ms, okay, by like spending
really dead set on this analogy, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I am, right? And you know, technically, right, if that's what the people want, then that's what you've got to do. And the executive is supposed to be there to step in and be like, listen, we're not doing that, right? Like that's just fucking retarded. But the problem is that then the executive and the people around it through the administrative state adopt their own ideology, because there is no such thing really as a neutral institution. Every institution has its culture, and then, you know, fast forward like a few years, you get, you know, where we are now, basically.
Yep. You're up, bud.
Super chats.
Yes, sir.
All right, mate. Discourse for $5. Thank you, mate. JD should just practice Zoroastro Baptist Catholic mysticism like every normal American.
I don't know what that is, but I love the sound of it.
Yes, I don't know what that is either, but you know, it sounds very, very cool. King Spectre for $5. Thank you, mate. I've got to answer the door for pizza delivery. Can you guys pause the stream for a while? Only if you are going to mail us pizza, Spectre. Okay, right? I'm feeling a bit peckish, and you know, I know Artie's gonna like, you know, want some like food after the show. If you FedEx us a couple of slices of your pizza, I mean, like, what kind of pizza is it? Better not fucking have pineapple on you.
I need you. Actually, keep going.
Theodore McCarthy for $5. 1 Corinthians 7:14. For the unbelieving husband is made holy because of his wife, and the unbelieving wife is made holy because of her husband. Well, see, there you go.
Okay.
It seems
That's
pretty,
math checks out.
Unicorn eye lasers for 20 Canadian loonies.
Hello there.
Hi, fellas. I'm actually at work right now. Could you maybe stop streaming and restart in a few hours? I'd hate to miss anything. For you, unicorn eye lasers, of course, mate. Of course.
Dude, I need you to understand how pervasive my community is with this, okay? This is from the chat. This is at 11:38 this morning. By the way, Artie, I'm going to be busy tonight. Just letting you know so you guys can wait for me to get home in the wee hours of the morning to start the stream. They're being abusive, legitimately abusive at this point.
Right, but it's a unicorn with eye lasers, right? I mean, you know, probably the most important unicorn there is, right? He's probably like the head of like the unicorn like diplomatic mission or something. The state of unicorn. Thank you very much. Theodore McCarthy for $5. Liberal democracy becomes liberal institutionalism, becomes illiberal institutionalism. Yeah, basically.
It has the freedom to end itself. Just like in a liberal democracy like Canada, the freedom to end yourself through the government, you know?
Oh, mate, fucking Canada. Oh,
Right.
they're in a place, poor guys. Andrew Corrigan for $10. Thank you very much.
I love that one.
Happy birthday, Artie. Give all 10 of these dollars to
On one hand, it's my birthday, but on the other hand, it's his super chat. So this is a really catch-22 right now. I don't know what to do. What would Christianity tell me to do? I need moral guidance to know what to do right now. Thank you.
Dude. Right. Okay. So we're done with super chat. Right. So we on to my
Yes, sir.
my segment about the war. The war.
Yeah, man. What's going on in the world, man?
War never changes. Except now we've got drones and AI and, gay furries piloting those drones. War never changes.
Is that even a joke necessarily?
Oh, I don't know, mate. Like we are well
Am I laughing
into the.
because it's a joke, or am I laughing because I'm coping because it's real? I don't even know why I'm laughing anymore.
We are well into the clown zone now, mate. Right? Like, it's like the Twilight Zone, except like everything is like just too preposterous to be believed. So, so you might think, filthy Americans with your low culture and your obsessions for burgers, guns, and patriotism.
Spoon, is that you? What's happening right now?
You might think that, doing another regime change war in the Middle East against a country 4 times the size of Iraq with actual peer-level military hardware would be a bad idea, but you'd be wrong. You'd be dead wrong, right? America exists. Its fundamental purpose is to protect Israel. It's not even a joke. At this point, like what the fuck, dude? Right? Like, oh my god, they are about to set the entire region on fire. In my opinion, right? They might not actually get to like the bombing of Iran for a bit, but you watch, all of the countries in that area are about to like fucking kick off. I bet you any fucking like money for no reason, right? Just
Oh, really? For no reason?
Yeah.
Really?
Look, it's just a coincidence, mate, right? Like, I don't want anyone in the chat to like, think that there might be some long-term strategy to like destabilize the entire region, right? Like, America wouldn't do that. They're the good guys.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Do you see how we understand? You see how we can not like say America bad and like describe like the actual complicated relationship America has with its own people versus its policy? Seems pretty easy to do,
Yeah, I know. You have to make a distinction between a people and their government, because many people are ruled by governments that they despise. I wouldn't know anything about that. Obviously. So why is it essential that America bombs the shit out of Iran? Well, it's not because of Israel. I don't want to hear people saying that, right? That's the kind of thing that Tucker Carlson would say. Right? No. They're going to get a nuclear weapon. How long have they been trying to get a nuclear weapon for? In about 2 weeks, for like about 20 years.
They love that 2 weeks, huh? They just can't get enough of it.
They do. And here's JD Vance. Vance, he's on board, bros. He is on board.
But the principle is very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. If they try to rebuild a nuclear weapon, that causes problems for us. And in fact, we've seen evidence that they have tried to do exactly that. So the president sending those negotiators to try to address that problem, as the president has said repeatedly, he wants to address that problem diplomatically. But of course, the president has other options as well. On what we need to see from
Mr. Vance, Newsfist from the Artie and Fist News Network. Can we see the evidence? No? Did I say something wrong? Stop dragging me off. I don't want to go to Guantanamo Bay.
Someone in the chat said 5 months away for the last 35 years.
Yeah, basically, right? Now, I laugh, but basically the entire Zionist media podcast wing are just, they're going hard, mate, right? They are, as Lindsay himself said, they are hard, right? They are erect and trembling at the prospect of getting it to stick stick it into Iran, right? That Iranian bussy just be like waving around. They're just like, oh, mate.
Going a little too much ankle, if you know what I'm saying.
That's right. Exactly. Mark Levin, of course, is just oh god, fucking
him, isn't he? Oh
my god, this guy he's just mate, he's just like a living meme.
We are on the precipice of militarily, I believe, addressing after half a century a regime in Iran that has killed 1,000 Americans.
Wow.
Hey, Artie. I believe this 1,000 Americans thing is like over like 30 years. How many Americans has the American government killed in the last 30 years? Do you think?
Well,
do you think it's more than 1,000?
America is bad, so probably millions, right? Think of how many people capitalism has killed, okay?
Oh my god. I don't know, man. Like, okay, like, so yes, there was the hostage thing in what was that in 74? Chat, when was the Iran?
Killed some people, you killed some people. My favorite argument is that if we kill people in another country, we have to let them come to our country. If someone kills your family, then they have to take you in as a guest. When has this ever been a rule throughout history?
Soldiers and civilians that has tried to assassinate our president.
Excuse me? Is there source, brother? What is the source for what you say? I was not aware of this. I have watched all of the Trump assassination attempts quite closely. When did the Iranians try and assassinate the president?
That is continuously obsessed with getting nuclear warheads and putting them on ICBMs that can now reach our country to blow our cities off the face of the earth. They slaughtered 50,000 of their own people. They'd slaughter 1 million of their own people if it meant retaining power. That's not a government of a country. Those are terrorists that control a country.
I mean, so it's 1 million people that they've killed now. Why not make it like around 6, mate? Right?
Yeah, well, we're throwing around numbers over here.
I mean, right? Like, we tried to overthrow their government and they killed the people that we sent to overthrow their government. Oh my God, can you? But that's playing very unfair, bros.
Yeah, it never worked out that way.
I'm not standing for Iran, by the way, right? I don't want to live in Iran. Okay. I'm not a fucking like Shia Muslim. I just don't want another fucking huge ass Middle East war. Okay. I don't think that. I think it's going to be exactly like Iraq. All of the promises that are like made to like get us into the war. Because I mean, and I say us because the UK is going to be fucking involved as well, right? Like obviously they're already. And by the way, there's a fuckload of Shia Muslims in London, right? No one seems to have addressed like what they're going to do when like the US starts bombing the living crap out of Tehran and they're flying through like UK military bases in the UK. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, bros, right? If there's one thing you can say about the Shia Muslims, right? They are a very, very sedate people, right?
Not the media will have a very interesting way of softening what's happening.
Oh, this is insane.
It is a police state that's slaughtering its own people to stay in power so it can slaughter us. It believes, as the 7th century primitive barbarians believed, that they must destroy civilization. They believe today that they must destroy the West. Most prominently, the United States of America. Those nuclear ICBMs aren't aimed for Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. They're aimed for...
What nuclear ICBMs? They don't have a nuclear weapon.
Now, right? I'm just curious. I don't know anything. Didn't we like just bomb them so this wouldn't happen?
Yes.
Like, wasn't that I don't know anything. As far as I know, that's why we did that.
I was reliably informed by no less than Trump himself that the entire Iranian nuclear program had been obliterated by Operation Midnight Hammer. And I named it Midnight Hammer because that's actually one of my favorite porno flicks, Midnight Hammer. It's a great watch. You should watch it. But now, and look, this is the thing that really fucking annoys me, like about the Israelis, right? Is that they do this shit all the time, right? They'll try and start a war. If it, they'll use some reason, right? They'll like resolve that reason. It's like what Lindsay says, right? The reason is never the reason. The reason is the revolution, except it's not a revolution. It's you like wanting to like glass another country, basically, right? And then a couple of years later, they'll be back with the same. They'll be like, well, how do we know
that you don't have a secret time travel portal, and that you might go back and bring Hitler into the future and clone him as just mate, fucking
New York and Los Angeles and Chicago and everywhere in between and around the United States of America. They're working closely with the Communist Chinese, Putin, and North Korea. And we are on the precipice, I believe, of finally addressing this so that we can have peace and security and prosperity.
They said all of this shit before Iraq, by the way, guys, right? In case any of you are too young to remember, this was exactly the same pitch for Iraq, right? Once Saddam is removed, there will be peace in the Middle East. Democracy will flourish. We will be welcomed as fucking like liberators.
Saddam to slow the spread.
Oh, fuck, mate.
We haven't bothered that regime. That regime has been kidnapping, slaughtering, maiming Americans since day one. It seeks a nuclear weapon to destroy us. And any terrorist group that runs a country that murders 50,000 of its own people and would murder 1 million of its own people will have no hesitation about firing nuclear warheads against us. And we must not leave it to our children and grandchildren.
Right. I mean, America has like second strike nuclear capability, right? Like, America has this thing where they constantly have nuclear submarines out in the sea for the specific and B2, is B-52, right? They've got these like planes like constantly in the air with like nukes, so that if anyone ever nukes America, they can like nuke them back. I don't buy it, man, right? I don't buy it.
Because if we do, they'll have tens of thousands of ballistic missiles, much more advanced technology to reach every corner of our country with warheads that can do massive devastation. And what will our children and grandchildren do then? Our generation has an obligation, like generations past have had obligations to us. To take.
Does he mean about the obligations that America has to Israel? Because that's kind of how I'm reading this, honestly.
It's ours. It's us. He means the same thing that we mean when we say it. Don't you know that?
Of course.
For all. This isn't about warmongering. It's about peace loving.
See? Try and argue with that.
Oh my God. It's like raping in the cause of virginity.
I'd love
or something
to
like
peace love him. That's what that means. I'd love to peace love the shit out of Mark Levin.
Now, of course, little Benny Shapiro, he's like, look, come on, guys, right? Launch the war. Like, what are you afraid of, right? It won't turn into like a massive like quagmire that will like light the entire fucking region on fire. Come on, like what are you, pussies?
There are really several issues that are on the table with regard to what the Iranian regime must do or should do. One, no nuclear program, not no nuclear weapons, no nuclear program, because of course a civilian nuclear program can be converted into a military nuclear program pretty quickly and easily. And the Iranians simply saying we won't build a nuclear weapon is no assurance they won't build a nuclear weapon. That's called the JCPOA, and Barack Obama did it. He also talked there about the ballistic missile development of Iran, but he did not really link that ballistic missile development to concessions that Iran must make. This has been sort of an open divide inside the administration. Some members of the administration are pushing the Iranians. They need to give up their ballistic missile program as well so they can't threaten surrounding countries and allies ranging from Israel to Saudi Arabia and all the way to Europe.
Which surrounding countries are you talking about there, Ben? You got any particular surrounding country in mind?
They're just little guys.
Yeah, just little guys. His kip is getting larger, mate.
That means he has more kids. That's what that means.
Really?
However big your hat is how many kids you have.
Is that actually true?
I want to believe I'm not making that up. Chat, you can look it up for yourself. Let me know if I'm making that up. I don't know. I'm starving right now, Fest, okay? I'm pretty sure it wasn't a fucking hallucination. I'm pretty sure I read that.
It's all right, mate.
People who are saying, no, that shouldn't be part, which of course I think is insane and ridiculous because they can attach not only nuclear weapons, but chemical and biological weapons to warheads that are capable of hitting populated centers in allied nations. And as the president says, are building long-range ICBMs theoretically capable of even hitting American territory. And then there's the question of their treatment of their own population, the murder of 32,000 people in the streets, the support for regional and global terrorism. Are all of those things going to be on the table in the negotiations, or is the United States going to seek an off-ramp by basically cutting an even weaker version of Barack Obama's JCPOA deal? I don't think it's clear from what the president is saying right there, which direction he's going to go. According to CNBC, the U.S. and Iran are poised to hold further nuclear talks in Geneva on Thursday.
Oh, it'd be terrible if peace broke out. Holy crap, man.
I love that. I love that if peace breaks out. I love how that's phrased so much. A catastrophic wave of calm.
A catastrophic wave of peace that could destroy the entire planet.
Again, he says that his preference is negotiated endpoint here. The question really, in the end, is going to be whether the president of the United States is too concerned about the possibility of a multi-week air campaign against the Iranians to actually do it. And the Iranians just bluff him. That's really all this is about. No one is talking about a massive ground invasion of Tehran.
No one is talking about that, except for the people that are talking about it.
That makes me think that a massive ground invasion of Tehran is like suddenly way more likely.
Yeah, all he said is that no one's talking about it. That's
no
all.
One,
see?
No one's talking about it.
He didn't say it's not
We're
going to
talking
happen.
about a long-term occupation of Tehran. Nobody is talking.
Then what is the strategic goal? Right? Like, you're just going to do another Iraq. You're just going to go in there. You're just going to break like a whole bunch of shit. You're going to set the entire fucking region on fire. And then Israel will take it over.
About hundreds of thousands of American boots on the ground in theater. Nobody's talking about that. The question here for the president is, what is the risk reward here for a multi-week air campaign to defenestrate the IRGC and the Ayatollahs and the mullahs in Iran? And then whatever happens, happens. Because
yeah, whatever happens, happens, bro. Right? Like, we couldn't have possibly.
What is he, a black guy? Whatever happens, happens, man.
Whatever happens.
What is like? He's usually a lot more articulate. When it comes to this topic, he's really vague for some reason.
I will tell you that everyone else is watching. If the United States backs off of this and cuts some sort of unbelievably weak deal, the consequences will not just be for the Middle East, where Israel will be forced to ramp up its military even more and probably go and attack Iran itself, given Iran's capacity and increasing capacity in both nuclear and ballistic missile development and its renewed attempts to support terrorism. But aside from the Middle East, the Russians are looking on. The president has put a lot of pressure on the Ukrainians and not enough pressure on the Russians. They're probably thinking to themselves, the United States is backing off. They probably renew their offensive in Ukraine, redouble it, triple it. China probably looks at Taiwan.
The Russians are doing that anyway. I don't think this is relevant. Oh, for fuck's sake.
There's nothing
honestly.
more the moves love than to hold either violence or debt over your head. There's always something is going bad is going to happen if you don't listen to him.
I think Benny's getting some sloppy toppy under the table. Look at him.
With that face, absolutely.
If the United States backs off of this and cuts some sort of unbelievably weak deal, the consequences will not.
Oh, yeah, no, wait. And so basically the current thing that's going around is if America doesn't attack, then Israel will have to attack by itself, bros, right? Which, of course, will suck America in, right? Which is why Israel's a fucking loose cannon, and being like chained to them is a really, really bad idea.
And secondly, on Iran, while you're here, can you explain to the American people why the United States would need to strike Iran to stop them from getting a nuclear weapon if the United States obliterated their enrichment program?
So this is what I was saying before, right?
Yeah, so what did she say?
Asking Vance, right? Why do we need to obliterate their nuclear program if we already obliterated their nuclear program?
Well, I'm not going to make any news on Iran today, Caitlin. I'll let the president make those announcements. As you know, he is sending two of his best negotiators to Geneva tomorrow in order to continue to try to strike the best deal possible for the American people. But the principle is very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. If they try to rebuild a nuclear weapon, that causes problems for us. In fact, we've seen evidence that they have tried to do exactly that. So the president sending those negotiators to try to address that problem, as the president has said repeatedly, he wants to address that problem.
Now, this evidence, right, they apparently showed a bunch of people in the government last week, right? Schumer was talking about it. Now, you can bet your bottom dollar that evidence came from Mossad. Now, call me cynical, but I don't think that Mossad is exactly the most neutral sort of actor in this. And I would be very, very skeptical about trusting anything that they give you in terms of intelligence because they're so invested, right? However, the general tenor of feeling in the US towards their greatest ally is it's not very good at the moment, bros. And it may be unrecoverable, right? It may even be that they censor everyone and it doesn't go away. I don't know. Here's Tucker basically sort of pointing this out.
Everybody knows the only reason we're having this war is because Israel wants it. This is their last chance, they believe. This presidency is the last presidency where they're going to have unequivocal bipartisan support, period. You can't primary every Thomas Massey, and there's a whole army of them coming at some point because everyone can see what's going on. You can shut down X and you can shut down the internet. You can be like Great Britain and arrest people who protest Israel, but attitudes are not going to revert to what they were 5 years ago. Sorry. And they know this. So this is their last chance. What's so amazing is that Israel, which at least is acting in what it perceives to be its own national interest, is joined by its shills in the United States, of course. But really, its only other ally in this is the American news media, whose job it is to tell you the truth and inform you as to what's happening, to tell you, hey, wake up. The world could be changing, and it's going to affect you and your family. That's their job. And instead, they've been lulling you to...
That's not their job, Tucker. Where the fuck have you been, mate?
Now, I don't know when I should bring this up, but I do have some really important news about Tucker.
Okay, well, I also have important news about Tucker.
Is it that post? With that
Right.
guy?
Okay, bros.
Yes, thank you.
I am struck by the cunny professor here. Right.
Silent T.
Right. I never ever thought this day would come. No, he's got to be Moorish, right? I never ever thought this day would come, but for the first time in my life, I am going to compare a human being to Adolf Hitler. Understand that I am the grandchild of 4 Holly survivors. I've spent a lifetime urging people not to compare anyone to Mustache Man.
This is a different story right now. Usually we hear about them always invoking Hitler for their own selfish narrative, right? So this is actually, he's a lot different than most moves, is what it sounds like.
I even wrote an op-ed in the New York Post days before the 24 election, blasting people for comparing Trump to Hitler. But Tucker Carlson's views, rhetoric, and influence remind me of the Mustache Man.
Oh,
The
with a PH,
situation-
by the way. ADOLPH. He's not even spelling his name correctly. It's incredible.
The situation is as dead serious as a heart attack. With J.D. Vance now expressly and abhorrently legitimizing Carlson's views, we are in a national anti-septicism state of emergency,
Out of
bros.
everyone to compare to Mustache Man, it's Tucker Carlson, dude. Are you being so for real right now, dude?
Super serial. Look.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Never gets old.
It seems that you can get fooled again. You just got to wait a bit of time. Right. Okay. This shit has been going on for a long time, bros. I mean, look, this is Nixon, okay, being asked about the strategic utility of Israel back in, when the fuck is this? I mean, that's Don Cavett. Is that the name of the host? Listen to this.
You make the observation in your book, and you say that you have said it many times when you were president of the United States, that no president is ever going to desert Israel, right?
Correct. I put it more bluntly. I said, as I told congressional leaders during the 1973 Yom Kippur War, no American president will let Israel go down the tube, Democrat or Republican. It's not an issue.
That is stated fairly categorically, and yet in your book you make it clear at the same time that Israel really is not of any enormous strategic value to the United States anymore.
That's correct.
So why then would the United States continue to burden itself with huge loans, in some cases outright grants, to the Israelis, jeopardize possibly young American fighting men, when there is no strategic value involved, or little strategic
Because the United States is concerned by more than strategic values. That's maybe a weakness, but it's the way we are. And there are moral issues involved here. We don't have an alliance with Israel. As you know, they're not an ally of the United States in the technical sense. But we have a bond to Israel that's much stronger. It's a moral commitment because of what happened during the Holocaust, and a moral commitment because it is a democracy, the only democracy in that area.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the post-war consensus. I mean, that's like from the mouth of Nixon. I don't know what post-war consensus doesn't exist. Well, Nixon would beg to fucking disagree, right?
And under the circumstances, that is why American presidents and the American people in the future will support all out the survival of Israel if it's attacked.
You've always been a very tough, pragmatic man. And I just wonder if you were the president of Israel and you heard Richard Nixon talking that way, or for that matter, heard any sitting American president talk that way, and say, but there's really no strategic value anymore, how much faith would you place in that kind of a moral commitment if push really came to shove?
If I were the president of Israel, I put a great deal of faith in it because of the track record of the United States, and also because he would know that that is the way the American people are. There is no doubt whatever of our commitment to.
Yeah. Wait, we got a few super chats.
Oh, sure.
Okay, where did we get up to? I lost my place. Here we go. Right. King Spectre for $2. Bacon, sausage, and jalapeno pizza. Delicious.
Stop.
Oh, mate, that sounds
Stop
good.
saying that. You can't say that to me right now. I got 2.5 hours until I can eat my. What am I? I'm going to eat a bacon, egg, and cheeseburger with avocado. Is what I'm going to eat. And you're really bringing the demon out of me, saying things like that.
Calmadea for $20. Thank you very much. Happy Friday, brothers. Nice profile pic, man.
Or like that. How can you not be happy, right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Total Blackout Painting for 5 months membership. TBP. Did you hear they just found writing that's 30,000 years old in a cave in Germany? It said Iran was 2 weeks away from having nuclear.
Wow, stunning discovery.
Thrilling. Bear in the Woods for $5. Someone cue the fat electrician's video on how the US casually decimated half of Iran's entire navy in an 8-hour day for fun. Yeah, that was probably a fair way back, I would imagine. Blue Leak for $2. 2 loonies, thank you. The way things really work. Israel bad. Bloody Cupcake for $5. Thank you very much. Iran would hold the world hostage with nukes. What the hell is the Samson option then? Yeah, and the thing is, at the same time all of this is going on, right? They're like, we could like totally give like nukes to Ukraine. And there's like footage of like, I don't know whether it's Zelensky or someone from the Ukrainian like government being like, look, if we had nukes, we could blackmail the whole world. Quagmire for $10. Thank you very much. I'm seriously wondering who the hell believes this bullshit. You didn't do the sound, mate.
Oh, my bad.
I'm dreaming of pizza.
Dude, it's distracting.
Last Remembrancer for $10. Thank you very much. Mark Levine, they've activated Godzilla, Pikachu, Charizard, and the flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz against America and had missiles pointed at us since 1776.
And that's all they got. That's all you got.
Deadpool Kid for $50. Holy crap.
Hello. DPK.
DPK. Thank you so much, mate. But guys, 35 years from now, Iran will have a nuclear weapon, and we need to prevent this to protect democracy and our greatest ally. Then after that, we need to accept the refugees after we invade in order to enrich our democracy further. Stop noticing. Yeah. Go ahead, Fist. Tell him he's wrong. Go ahead. Scold him. Oh, yeah. It sounds like a conspiracy theory to me.
This is the only response they have to that.
They didn't say truth.
That's all they have. That's all they have.
Thank you so much, DBK. Jack B. Nimble member for 4 months. Went to liturgy, and it was the first church service I've been to that didn't feel off. I think I found a new Christian home. Thank you both from the bottom of my heart. Oh, well, God bless you.
Clip it, cut it, print it. That's what we're doing here, okay?
I wish you the best of luck. I wish you the best of luck, Jack. Yeah, the Orthodox liturgy is pretty freaking awesome, man.
You see, going to liturgy is a lot like going to New Hampshire from Massachusetts. I never hear anyone move to New Hampshire and go, man, I want to go back to Massachusetts. Whenever someone goes to liturgy, I never hear them go, I want to go back to the gay church. I want to go back to Protestantism. I want to go back to Catholicism. It seems to be, it feels, I guess, from what I've heard, serious.
Yes.
Meaningful, and as it's supposed to be, without anything else convoluted involved in worship.
It is serious, man.
Yeah.
There's no retards playing guitar. There's no like gay modern hymns. It's very, very, it's very serious. It's very solemn.
Mm-hmm.
It has gravitas, if you know what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's awesome. The new GM for $10.
New G.
Thank you very much. Boys, a guy at work today who seems totally mild-mannered, married with kids, told me I should look up the translation of auction house's speeches. I am shocked how much the containment has been breached. Yeah, man, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you, Nick Fuentes used Danny Finkelstein's old decrepit body as to jettison this narrative into the mainstream normie ears. It's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, about fucking time, honestly. Right. Okay. So end of super chats. What else have we got? Okay. So, as you can imagine, the Jays are, basically like talking all their weird, like prophecy shit like they like to do. I'll just play a couple of minutes of this.
Zechariah 12 tells us about the restoration of the Jewish people to the land of Israel before the Messiah comes and the liberation of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem will be a heavy, burdensome stone to all the nations that come against it. God will destroy all the nations that come up against Jerusalem. Against the Messiah is not here yet. This is very critical because when the Messiah comes, there's complete peace. So these are the immediate events before the Messiah comes. Persia, modern day Iran, is our implacable enemy. I didn't make it up. It's openly, explicitly Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 5. They are the head of Gog, the nation that, and it doesn't really make sense. Logically, Persia was at the time a benevolent or benign empire to the Jews. Jews didn't have trouble with the Sasanian Empire, the ancient Persian Empire. On the contrary, Cyrus is our good friend. But the prophets say at the end of days, Persia will be your implacable enemy. This is explicit in the text. I hope you'll put this on pause when you're watching this and look up all these critical passages. And then we're told that something catastrophic will happen in that
this is why I'm becoming a freaking Marcionite, mate. All this weird, like, mooish prophecy in the Old Testament. So Marcion was sort of like this kind of like the first sort of proto Gnostic, sort of, in a way, right? Marcion's sort of conception was that the Old Testament God was very different to the New Testament God, because the Old Testament God was all about like excessive legalism and sacrifice and all this kind of other stuff, and was like a massive was completely different to the message in the New Testament with Jesus Christ and and forgiveness, and right, we're not going to do excessive legalism and sacrifice and stuff like that. And Marcionism was around for a couple of 100 years, and it was sort of very anti-Judaizing. Basically, they were just like, right, we're gonna get rid of all the mooish parts of the Bible, and we're just gonna like focus entirely on the New Testament. And I had a look at the book of Zechariah just like a little bit, and it's just some crazy moo, like, raving about, like, he's having like visions, and he's like, in the end times, the bell and the snake, and I don't know, mate. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Torch of White, that prophecy was about Jesus. Exactly, right? So the sort of Orthodox Church position became that all of these prophecies were basically about Jesus, and when Jesus came, these prophecies were fulfilled. But for the moos, of course, because they don't recognize the legitimacy of Jesus, all of these prophecies are still kicking around like a bunch of live hand grenades, like waiting to like start shit everywhere, essentially, right? Who the hell is this? Is that fucking Lutnick? No. Who's the
Lutnick?
Oh, it's Huckabee. Sorry, I'm getting my moos confused. I got the moo confusion. Look at the size of the kipper on that one, mate. He must have had like a whole clan.
What are you talking about? He's clearly in a motorcycle gang, and it's a skull cap.
It's huge.
That's a lot of kids right there. What's his name?
I don't know. He could hide a lot of fucking butter under that. Is all I'm saying, right?
You never know.
It's just a rabbi.
We spent 2 days here now, and almost everyone we've met with across the spectrum within the Jewish community, that's where we've been meeting, none of them have expressed any fear about going into bomb shelters or ballistic missiles from Iran. Every one of them universally has said to us, you must be excited to be here. You're going to have a front row seat to the miracles that are about to happen. When you speak about the resilience of the Israeli people, and what
Pause it
they've
real
been through
quick.
for 2 years, they're not in.
I just want to let you know it has been decided he's wearing a moo rag.
Shit, L'chaim. Oh my god, a moo rag. That's fucking awesome.
Fear, at least those who we've met with across the spectrum, have all expressed this faith and almost I don't want to describe excitement, but they've had a front row seat to miracles for 2 years, and they feel like they're about to see the next chapter of it. And they ask you, aren't you?
Are you ready for the miracles, bro? When we glass Iran, miracles will be achieved. Oh my God, it's so fucking bloodthirsty, dude.
Excited to be here for it. You must be so grateful. You're going to see the
bloodthirsty for
redemption
peace
come before you. Is that your experience too, with the way that Israelis are approaching this potential of having to be in bound? Even as we sit here right now, you know, we don't. I'm sure you would have canceled if there were greater concern. That gives us a little comfort in the moment, at least. But in this country, you have to know your whereabouts all the time. Where's the closest shelter? When might a siren go off? Is that part of the consciousness, your experience, even as you're approaching these coming hours or days or whatever might happen next?
It's always amazing to me that Israelis don't have this fear of what could happen. They don't curl up in a fetal position and crawl up under their bed and refuse to get out and go anywhere each day. They live their lives. They live it to the fullest. I was here September of 24. I was here to tape some television footage for my television show. And I was having lunch in Tel Aviv with a friend of mine. And all of a sudden, the Iron Dome, the siren goes off, and the Iron Dome intercepts a rocket from Gaza right above our heads. You can hear it and see it. Everybody goes to the shelter. I was amazed. Nobody was rushing. Nobody was pushing or shoving, but everyone methodically.
I love these stories they have. They all have their stories, don't they?
Yep. Yep. Well, the obvious upshot is that everyone should be normalized to live in fear of constant war. I'm doing my part by living in London, obviously. Right. Of course,
yeah, you're doing your part.
Of course, we don't have NIG shelters in London, unfortunately. Right? There's no kind of like warning signal when there's going to be like a NIG NATO or some kind of other sort of mass NIG event, unfortunately. But it would be nice, you know. So basically, the sort of thing is like, you know, we should get Israel to attack Iran first. Then when Iran retaliates, you know, blah, 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 we can like go in. FrankenSTEIN again, he's like, you know, in the 12-day war, actually, Americans, you really did nothing.
Oh, yeah. Our digital correspondent, Chris Menahan. He's been in like essentially every stream at this point.
Mate, he is such a good follow.
It's unbelievable.
Right? I cannot recommend following this account enough, right? He is like the world Muiri expert. This guy. Amazing follow. Yeah, check it out.
One of the most hysterical things that I'm seeing right now are commentators, many on the right, many on the left as well, who are doing this routine where they're saying that somehow Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel is talking Donald Trump into a war. Okay, let us be clear about the timeline here. Last year, Israel unilaterally went after Iran, completely destroyed its air defense resources, and did tremendous damage to IRGC facilities and leadership capacity in Iran. And then the United States, at the last minute in Operation Midnight Hammer, authorized by President Trump, flew a single B-2 sortie over a nuclear facility and blew it up in Fordo. That is what happened. One of the most hysterical things.
Yeah, I mean, you know, look, let's completely forget the fact that America provided like missile defense cover for Israel, and as a result, burnt like 25% of their entire missile interceptor stocks, and they still haven't been able to replenish them. What did you guys really do? Right? Like, you know, come on, what did you really do? You know, it was all us, right? Now, unfortunately, there is a real possibility that peace may still break out, right? The peace-thirsty savages are still around, right?
I love it.
Still pushing their message of hate and peace, right? Or as Zelensky would say, still pushing their message of hate and peace. Right. So supposedly, okay. So as far as the negotiations go, right, it's a bit muddled. Okay. Obviously, all of the American Zionists are like, oh, you know, you can't make an agreement with like Iran. Anything they say, they're going to like lie. They're like, you know, dead against it because they're hot and heavy. Right. Or as James Lindsay would say, hard for the prospect of war. So supposedly these were the demands, this was a couple of days ago: complete dismantling of all nuclear sites, Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. They must be destroyed. Iran must hand over all of their stockpiles of enriched uranium. These restrictions are permanent, like forever. There are no sunset clauses. Tehran, the one reactor that they will retain in Iran can continue very low level enrichment for medical purposes, and maybe they'll lift the sanctions if they've been good, right? At the same time as this is happening, tons of countries are pulling all their people out of Iran. There are like travel warnings in like Lebanon, in the entire region. Tons of countries are like telling all their people, get the fuck out now. And it looks like sabotage teams are now active inside Iran. I believe that these are missile defense sites in Tehran. Wait, let me double check that. Multiple mysterious explosions. Here we go, mostly around Tehran. So I have heard that these are mainly missile defense sites, which leads me to believe that during the sort of unrest, probably a bunch of like sabotage teams were also infiltrated into Iran to do stuff like this. And there's no sound on the video.
Yeah,
but as you can see, very, very big fire. I've been hearing like certain like factories and stuff have been like struck, probably producing like inputs for their missile program or missile defense. Trump is not happy with the way the negotiations are going so far. I believe this is from today. Yes, this is from today.
Venezuela's been amazing. Well, they should make a deal, but they don't want to quite go far enough, and it's too bad. Look, we've been playing with them for 47 years, and that's a long time. They've been blowing the legs off our people, blowing the face off our people. They've been knocking out you one by one. And every month there's something else, so you can't put up with it.
Making him look like a half-eaten rotisserie chicken.
They don't want to see us say the key words, we're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They have to say, we're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
Now, I have been told, I cannot 100% verify this, but I believe it is true, that Khomeini has actually said that Iran would never get a nuclear weapon because he's got like an active fatwa going. Fatwa is not the name of like some American burger place, but is in fact like a religious decree. Khomeini apparently says that nuclear weapons are against Islamic law, which, you know, for certain interpretations of Islam would make sense.
They just can't quite get there. They want to enrich a little bit.
By the way, you notice Lutnick is not in this shot, right? Remember, right, like literally up until, oh shit, even last show, every single time you saw Trump, Lutnick would be at his side, right? And then all this stuff about Lutnick started like coming out, and apparently there are now photos of him with Epstein coming out, and all of a sudden he's not in the lineup.
You don't have to enrich when you have that much oil. So I'm not happy with the negotiation. I say no enrichment. Not 20%, 30%. They always want 20%, 30%. They want it for civilian, you know, for civil. I think it's uncivil. So I'm not happy.
How close are you to making a decision on strikes?
I'd rather not tell you. You would have the greatest scoop in history, right? You know.
So strikes are still on the table, bros, right? They've got the alternate Iranian government.
Who is that guy on the right in the front? And why is he not in the thumbnail?
I don't know.
Oh my God, is this Move the Camel Clutch?
The guy in the center is Reza Shah Pahlavi. Once the Iranian government is overthrown, he will be the new king. All right, he's like the son or grandson of the original Shah that was overthrown in the Iranian Revolution. Oh yeah, right. It's all in Farsi. But I just this picture, mate. It's welcome, fellow Iranians. We will be happy to take over the rubble of your country. Now, at the same time as this is going on, right? Fuck me. Netanyahu went to India to meet like Modi, and I think Modi came to like
and they just
Israel.
did it in front of everybody, huh?
Mate, they were jerking each other off. They were
Slobbering
like,
all over each other.
oh my god! Like honestly, it was just
What,
like
did one of them
now,
just get out of prison?
mate, now kiss. Like literally, right? I don't have any.
I know,
footage.
and he's wearing all white. His little wedding day.
And you see like, you know, how this is going basically, right? You know, we was actually moose, bro.
We were linked by ties that go back more than 2,000
Come on! This is a goof.
Of Esther refers to India as Hodu. The
Durga
trade with India in ancient times.
Dude, the Talmud's from like 700 AD. I don't know how ancient you're like talking about. Mate, that accent is so thick.
Jewish merchants traveled across sea routes that connected the Mediterranean with the Indian Ocean. They came seeking opportunity and dignity.
Yeah, they're probably trading slaves. Like, to be perfectly frank.
I feel like he's going to say that people are retarded.
And he talks about the Holy, of course.
Honorable members, I also carry with me the deepest condolences of the people of India for every life lost and for every family whose world was shattered in the barbaric terrorist attack by Hamas on October 7. We feel your pain. We share your grief. India.
Dude, every single time I see Netanyahu's face, right? He's just got this expression like, yes.
Oh, wow. Look
Good
at
boy.
that. Dude, how is he like somehow, it looks like he's lit from underneath like a campfire, like he's telling a spooky story.
He's just, mate, I honestly think Netanyahu has like the evilest smile of any world leader, right? Like he just gives you the fucking creeps, mate.
The light always hits him just right.
Yeah.
Stands with Israel firmly, with full conviction in this moment and beyond.
Yeah, so you see where this is going, right? Turns out India is the only country that never persecuted the moose.
In a world where anti-Semitism is rising, India stands out. A civilization where Jews were never persecuted by the state, only welcomed. We don't forget that too. Thank you, India.
There was a bit of an awkward moment when one of the members of the Knesset refused to shake Modi's hand, presumably because he's a Gentile. I don't know. But, you know, it doesn't seem to have like put a crimp in sort of the massive love fest.
This is how I would make fun of them if I had those interests.
I know it's like literally like parody. Like, this is in deep clown world. This
oh
shit.
yeah.
So these are Indian moose, by the way, right? There's, you know, apparently there's like a mooish community in India, and now all of a sudden they're, you know, they're well, I mean, they're being like uplifted because they're suddenly very politically useful. Right. So okay, I won't torture you all.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm trying to torture our audience with the next segment right now, okay? Don't try and outdo me.
Okay, so but this is good. Taco is on point once again.
You've decided we need a new superpower. Public opinion in this country has swung against us so hard this bipartisan consensus that we're its closest ally is disintegrating before our very eyes. And let's be honest with ourselves, this is not going to continue forever. We need another country to be aligned with. Now, how many big countries are there to choose from? It's got to be physically large, big population, nuclear armed. Not too many. In fact, the big ones would be China and India. But China, unfortunately, is a Han ethno-state. So you can't really turn its population against itself in order to increase your own power. It's not going to work. It's resistant to this, to manipulation. And that leaves India. And it was probably no coincidence that the Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Modi, spoke to Knesset today about the ancient ties between Israel and India. Bottom line, yes, Israel is moving on from the United States at some point, probably sooner rather than later, to India. And so weakening the United States in a war with Iran is not all bad. In fact, it might be good, because then there's no rivalry at all in your region. It's you, the only country with nuclear weapons, and everybody else. So you can kind of do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about hostile neighbors. You can expand the size of your territory, for example. You can move your borders in all directions. Who's going to stop you? No one.
Man, you know, I'm really glad that like Indians don't now like run every single major like global corporation on like Earth or anything like that, because that'd be terrible if that was the case. Sussy Barker. Right. So I'm gonna do like a little bit of like map stuff just for a little bit, bros. So take out a map and study it. This is important shit, bros. Here is India, of course. We have Iran. And between Iran and India, we have Pakistan and Afghanistan. Pakistan, of course, is on the sort of northern part of the Gulf of Oman, right? Why is this important? Oh, well, I'm just saying, hypothetically, right? If you were trying to destabilize the region so that you could get Iran, then you would expect something to break out between, India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Fortunately, of course, right? That is totally unlikely to. Oh, wait, look at this. But suddenly, right, there are massive ongoing clashes between Pakistan. For God's sake. So there's a lot of fake footage about this going around, but there is, in fact, like beef going on at the moment.
Real beef, not
real
that
beef.
lab-made Israel beef.
Yep, the Pakistanis were bombing Kabul. Again, you can't really hear it. It's just, you know. And right now, the reason why I wanted to sort of talk about the map is because of this area right here. Okay, Baluchistan. Now, you might say, well, what is Baluchistan? Well, Baluchistan is basically this sort of like breakaway province, right? That is technically part mostly of Pakistan, with a little bit on the western side of the Iranian-Pakistani border. And the Baluchis want to be their own country. And they've been sort of,
come on, man.
Yeah.
You say that to my American brain, and I'm supposed to go, oh, the Baluchis. Oh.
It sounds like a weird Appalachian tribe or something, doesn't it?
Right?
Yeah, watch out for the Baluchis. No, but the Baluchis are like a real thing, right? And they have been creating quite a bit of trouble. Check this out.
I know from my sources in the Navy that sailors actually took undershirts and stuffed them into the toilets to cause them to back up.
What?
I know that the
So that's
crew's
true.
very, very unhappy with being at sea now for 10 months. And before this is over, it will have been a year. They went to Suda Bay. I think they tried to address some of this. And now they've pulled out of Suda Bay after 48 hours or a little more than that to repair things. But you're talking about something else that's hugely important. I don't want to go into great detail, but logistics in the region is very problematic right now. Places we formerly were able to utilize, we can't because of the Huckabee interview, frankly. That particular revelation has turned almost everybody against us in the region. So the Navy is now looking as far away as India and ports there that they can go to as required.
Huh. What amazing timing. Now, what, of course, is he talking about? Right. So this is the Gulf of Hormuz, as you can see. Now, usually the the US Navy would dock at like Oman or the UAE. The UAE is on the other side of the Gulf, Qatar, Bahrain, right? But if the Iranians block the Strait of Hormuz, and you will notice on the map that they're mostly not sort of like hanging out in there, right? The one place that they could basically go to if they chose India is Karachi, right? There's a big ass port here. I did like a huge autism on this the other night. But this would add like 2 to 4 days for a turnaround, right? If they had to like, go back and like, refuel and resupply in Karachi, they'd need to ship like a whole bunch of like stuff there. And of course, there is also Gwadar, which is a very, very important point. It is, in fact, the southernmost point of what is called the China-Pakistan economic corridor, right? So you got like China here. There's like a corridor. It goes like all the way down. It's how China can get its stuff down to the Gulf. And where is Gwadar, I hear you ask? Well, at the bottom of Baluchistan. Now, as someone in the chat said, the Balukis are basically like the Kurds, right? The Kurds are like another breakaway group. They sort of exist on the border of like Iraq and Turkey and sort of like, up in the north. And I speculated for a while that what they basically do is start funding these separatist movements around the edge of Iran. Because the thing about Iran basically is you've got this big mountainous shit like all in the middle, right? And that is basically impenetrable. But all of their oil and stuff comes from these like coastal areas down by the Gulf. And this could also be why they want to shut down Iran's like nuclear capability so that they can then sort of invade these low-lying areas, starve them of oil, and then it won't matter if they're all hiding in the mountains. And then we've got this thingy, I think.
Buddy.
Nearly done.
Okay. I'm trying to make fun of a guy named Shenenbaum Rosenborough or whatever his name is, okay?
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll get to the.
He wears the
funny
hat
stuff.
and everything. Trust me. We're gonna love
just-
making fun of him.
This is important, mate. This is important shit.
Can we get past your slop so we can get to the real news? Like, I love saying that to you so much.
But I barely ever even talk about Israel, and I've experienced some of this backlash. It's ridiculous.
Well, you came out and said, I love Israel. I'm a friend of Israel. I couldn't be more pro-Jewish. I don't have an anti-Semitic bone in my body. And I, by the way, really like Israel for the 5th time. And they still called you a Nazi. So why?
You know who else said that?
Who?
Hitler.
Why? And I even talked to some of the people doing it. I was like, Megyn Kelly, really? If Megyn Kelly's an anti-Semite, I mean, I don't even know where we are here. And but now we're seeing why. And the reason was to prevent criticism of policy goals. Israel wants, they're saying it out loud, they want to use the U.S. military and the U.S. Treasury to sweep aside the last remaining obstacle to regional hegemony in the Middle East, which is Iran. And they don't want to be criticized or to be asked, like, what's the plan here? Because they don't have an answer. And so they have taken offline preemptively critics by being so violent rhetorically and maybe physically that everyone's like, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to deal with this. The cost is too high.
That's exactly it.
That is exactly what they've done. And I've just decided at 56, I don't care. And I'm just going to do this because I believe that my motives are pure. I'm just an American. And I think it's important to say this. But there are a lot of other people who feel it who won't say it because it's like, I've got kids. I don't want to deal with this.
So this is why they need to take Tucker down.
Right.
They know it's going to be like a long, grinding war. And they don't want Tucker constantly like reminding the American people that this was like a stupid idea. Okay. However, again, as I said, the filthy peacemongers may still see the day. Allegedly, this filthy peacemonger here is from Amman. This is where the negotiations are being conducted. And apparently there was a breakthrough today. Iran has agreed to basically get rid of its enriched uranium stockpile. I don't think it's going to be enough personally, but let's see.
This is something completely new. It really makes the enrichment argument less relevant because now we are talking about zero stockpiling. And that is very, very important because if you cannot stockpile material that is enriched, then there is no way you can actually create a bomb, whether you enrich or don't enrich. And I think this is
what he doesn't understand, right, is that it's a conceptual bomb, right? In my mind, it was real, right? The bomb, right? The Iranians are making a bomb with their mind, the worst kind of bomb.
Really something that has been missed a lot by the media, and I want to clarify that from the standpoint of a mediator.
So explain that. So the enriched material, the things that could be used as nuclear fuel for a bomb, you're saying Iran would not keep on their own soil?
They would give it up.
They would give it up?
They will not be able to actually accumulate that material that will enable them to create a bomb. There's no accumulation. So there will be zero accumulation, zero stockpiling, and full verification. That is also equally important achievement, I think. A full and comprehensive verification by the IAEA, which is the agency in charge of this file.
The UN nuclear watchdog.
That's
So
right.
you're saying all enriched material would be shipped someplace else, not Russia, but
No, the current stockpiles that still exist,
the things that are still in Iran.
I think that there is agreement now that this will be downblended to the lowest level possible,
Okay.
to neutral level, a natural level, which means, and converted into fuel, and that fuel will be irreversible.
So there you go. Yeah. So peace may still, unfortunately, peace may still burst out, which will make everybody wet and stinky. Right. Super chats.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me see. Blue Leak for $2 Canadian. Thank you very much. As they say, Israel has no friends in peace. Thank you very much. The new GM for $5. Heresy detected. Marcionism is still a heresy. Yeah, I know it's still a heresy. I'm just, I'm
He's flirting. Let him flirt with a heresy, okay?
Been studying
He's a
up
good
on
boy
it.
every day. Just flirting. Dipping his toe.
Aramaic Discourse for $5. Moons were so greedy they clipped the atom, and thus nuclear technology was born.
What is that? The Manhattan Project?
Dude. Mate, they must have had some bad accidents when they were like working on that.
Oppenheimer, German
and, oh my
nuke.
god, your mom's legs for $50.
My mother's legs?
Hey, your mother's legs are very generous, dude. My god.
You have no idea. I was not an easy birth. Okay.
Happy birthday, bro. Fun fact. The moon nose is so big because air is free. At least that's what I heard on the streets. Thank you very much.
Wow, there's something suspicious about this guy.
Oh, you're on the payroll of the Jews.
And he knows how they breathe too. He knows a lot and spends a lot. So I don't know about this guy. Very suspicious.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Your mom's legs, mate. Like banging. Right. It's time for the really important part.
Fellas, I got great news. Jim Bob is free. They're live right now.
Oh, nice.
And thank you everyone who supported and was like, dude, what the hell? A lot of people called out YouTube on X. Tony, you were right. Apparently that does work.
Turns out he's just a boomer and he's new to streaming. Okay, Jim Bob, I have a Rumble in my description. Multi-stream to Rumble and build the Rumble. Our stream has been taken down before for copyright, and everyone immediately switched. Not everyone, over half of the audience switched over to Rumble. For the love of God, build up your Rumble, especially if you rely on this as an income. Congratulations, though. So,
oh, that's nice. I'm glad he's back.
First of all, have we noticed this number just keeps growing? 2016, it's 100,000 survivors. 2020, it's 192,000 survivors. 2024, 245,000 survivors. First of its kind demographic report finds. I guess they're just searching more as time goes on,
Very
right?
anti-citrus.
Thank you.
Very, very anti-citrus.
Speaking of which, let me set this up properly. This video is the video me and you saw initially and we're going to cover. So let me catch everybody up to speed.
Okay.
I mean, we got Europe. Europe has a lot of problems, but the first order of business.
Now he's going to say how things are getting so bad in Europe. You got to just shoot on sight. Someone's crossing your border. It's getting to that point. Okay. The cameraman it didn't seem to appreciate it too much.
You need an absolute unconditional moratorium on migration. The second order of business is, I'm going to say this, people are going to lose their shit, but it's true. You have to start shooting people if they attempt to come over the border.
Yeah.
There's simply no other way to keep people out.
No, I actually
But if
agree.
somebody has another way, I'm completely willing to listen to it. I think the cameraman left. Did that offend you? I think it offended him so deeply he left the room.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's why he left. He shook his head and left. But I don't know what's the other.
Look
what's
at this guy laughing.
Solution to that?
Yeah. I think.
Wait, let's bring the camera guy up here. And
example has a right only a study.
Here's what this camera guy sounds like.
Malleable.
Okay.
I mean, at one point it was illegal for a black person to go into a white only establishment.
Yeah.
I think that a refugee, for example, has a right to come to, who's fleeing violence, has a right to come to another country.
Okay.
So what I found offensive, though, is just you saying shooting those people, because to me, that is similar to what you were denouncing earlier, which I agree with. We shouldn't kill our political
Can you pause it? I would just say I would like to.
that you have that disagreement with.
I would like to invite this gentleman over to London to experience the delights of Croydon and Tower Hamlets. I'm sure he would be very, very, very happy there, right? He could do like migrant outreach, right? He could be down with the brothers. I'm sure he'd have a great time, man.
You clearly haven't watched enough of this. Okay. If you think that's going to be a point, that's why I'm finding. Okay, watch.
To me, that made me feel about how you would probably feel if someone said they were pro shooting and killing Charlie Kirk.
So what would your solution be to illegal immigration in Europe?
Well, I think Muslims make a small percentage of the immigrants in Europe, or the population in Europe. It's something like 5 to 10%. I don't think immigration is actually a problem. If you look at
Yes, Fist. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns?
Actually, as it turns out, I know a lot about Europe. Oh my god!
So,
oh my god!
So the whole time I was listening to this, and I made the thumbnail once I saw this guy's face. Okay.
Oh fuck!
So we're gonna do a face reveal, but not yet. I got to build it up first.
statistics, undocumented immigrants commit less crimes and less violent
But
crimes.
that doesn't answer the question, though. So what is the solution to illegal immigration in Europe?
Well,
I gave you my
it does
solution.
answer the question, because so in your question, you're implying that there's a problem that needs to be solved. So the way I'm answering that is I'm saying that implication is false.
Okay.
And the facts don't support your feelings about the issue. And the facts are that
the left is never going to let go Ben Shapiro saying facts don't care about your feelings. We all understand that, right? They're never letting that go.
Oh my god.
That cut them so deeply.
Oh my god, like the struggle snuggle gangs, right? The mosques, the church burnings, the terrorist attacks, like
I know.
Actually, did you know they commit terrorist attacks at a much lower rate than the indigenous population?
Oh, so you have seen this. Are you ready?
especially in America, undocumented immigrants commit less crimes.
We're talking about Western Europe.
So we're talking about Western Europe.
Yes.
I believe the statistics are fairly similar. I looked it up while you were talking, and there are more hate crimes against Muslims than there are hate crimes against Christians. And I understand that's a topic of debate, but
I'm sorry, what do you find so funny about that? About this disadvantaged populace?
Actually, I looked it up. Actually, did you know that actually there's more hate crimes against like Muslims than there were against Christians? Yeah, that's because the fucking government doesn't prosecute hate crimes against Christians. You total fucking
yeah,
melt.
but his phone doesn't say that. But he's looking at the infallible science, the infallible data.
Fuck off.
pretend that a minority that's 5 to 10% of the population is somehow oppressing 80% of the rest of the population. I don't think facts support that. And I think calling for shooting people.
So I love to call this the 93% peaceful fallacy, where we're really focused on the 7% that are riots. And in Oregon, it was 40% were riots, not in Portland. In the entire state of Oregon, it was 40% riots. Chicago, 30% were riots. It was why are you so worried about the Black Lives Matter riots in Portland, Oregon, when there's none in Wyoming?
Yeah.
I'm focusing
checkmate
on where it's happening, right? So like London is like 33% white or something like that. So I mean that would be the rebuttal. but they love to divert to this. All of a sudden, all lives matter, by the way. All of a sudden, now we're going to look at the aggregate data.
Right.
I think is over the line. I think that's over the line in the same way that you probably felt when you saw someone shot and killed Charlie Kirk because they disagreed with him. I think that's just deeply objectionable rhetoric, especially right now.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I understand your position correctly. So you don't think there's a problem with illegal immigration?
I think whether immigration is legal or illegal is arbitrary.
What do you think of that one? Whether
yeah,
it's legal or illegal, it's arbitrary. How do you like that one?
I mean, this is the great thing about legalism, right? Is that if there are laws that are inconvenient to your like socially transformative objectives, you can just like suspend them or just be like, well, actually, you know, that law doesn't like really apply because like really, if you think about it, like no human can really be illegal. So actually, why do we need borders? Oh my God.
I'm not done with you.
Okay. So you think that we should allow people to come to, not
so
we,
you had based your argument on the idea that people are coming into this country without being quote unquote vetted. Right.
We're talking about, I just want to be clear, we're talking about Western Europe in the context of this conversation.
Well, I think basically if there's not a legal process to immigrate, then the term illegal immigration becomes a misnomer because what you actually have a problem with is immigration, not illegal.
How mooish is this interpretation for his end goal right now of how he's trying to Woe's law his way into not understanding in order to try and change what the word means. This is why he's FrankenSTEIN's monster. He was created by Frankenstein. Okay. Now he doesn't know he was created by the Moos. He doesn't know that, but he was definitely created by them. Okay.
Legal immigration in general.
What if a country said we don't want immigrants? Is that okay?
If a country said what?
We don't want immigrants.
Well, and I would say that I'm a white person. You're a white person. You're a white person.
I'm not white.
I apologize for assuming if you're not white, and I apologize genuinely for that.
Guys, like I'm not white. Has to apologize for calling him white.
Oh my God.
So now this is just the first video. You've seen this. You haven't seen the other video.
Seeing whites like this, like, you know, makes me veer back towards your, you know, missignation argument, like, honestly, because like
he's not white. We don't get to claim him under the current paradigm. Sorry. Now, under the Caucasian Miscegenation Liberation Front, well, we're eating, fellas, and we're growing by the day. It's really popular. Everyone enjoys what I'm saying when I say that. Okay, it's a very quickly growing movement. No one gives me any shit about it. I'm not trashed whenever I say it, so don't be afraid of that at all. Very rapidly growing movement. But now it sounds like he just can't even conceive of a country being sovereign, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're probably rooting for them, right?
Because that would be a crime. I'm saying it's a crime to break into someone's house and steal something. And if someone does a crime, they should be punished for a crime. I'm saying it's not a crime to immigrate. Do you think
so you don't believe in sovereignty of a nation?
I mean, honestly, I think that sovereignty is largely something that is used to oppress people.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good.
Oh, fuck off.
How do you like that one? This is the cameraman. Where is the vetting? Where is the vetting? Well, let's be open-minded. Let's not be right-wing, and let's hire, you know, a little bit of everybody.
Dude, it's I just heard like 1 million international relations students like cry out in pain. Like this guy he doesn't even understand what the fuck that word even means. Oh God.
Thank you for being honest. So now I know exactly what you believe. And so if we try to agree upon something and meet me halfway, I don't think that's meeting halfway because it doesn't answer the question.
I think I answered your question, but
well, the idea is that is there any number of illegal immigrants that we shouldn't, like if 10 million people wanted to come into the UK or on dinghies in a year, we would just treat that like a speeding violations for those individuals.
Realistically, it would be fine. The number
that's honest.
Fuck
the number
and die. Oh,
just owning the position. He's being the goodest goy right now.
Urge to Fed post intensifying strongly.
So like the Peter Boghossian, like 2019 showing them saying it used to be like, look it, isn't it crazy that they're saying it? Not anywhere like, yeah, we know that they're gonna, yeah, dude, it's yeah. Oh, look, isn't that crazy? Oh, it's good that you're saying it. What would have to happen to these countries, Peter, until you have a little more of a reaction to that response? Always reasonable.
Wait, we got
Number
a
you-
chat.
Yeah.
Big Nick Digger.
Big
for
Nicky
20.
Diggy.
Wait. Nick. Holy God, holy mighty, holy immortal, have mercy on us. Happy Lent, fellas. God bless you, Nick.
Happy Lent, indeed. Thank you very much. I'm suffering for absolutely no reason. This takes on. I don't get any like God payoff, by the way. I'm miserable because I can't eat, and then I eat so quickly that I'm too full. So I have a half an hour of enjoyment every day for since Monday. Essentially, is what's happening.
And Creamer Slinger for $10. Thank you very much. You know for a fact that the camera guy makes girl sounds while he wipes. Bro. His pussy is very sensitive. That's true.
His breathing habits are very questionable too.
Oh my God. Right. Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Keep it.
I'm not done with you.
Proposed was, I think, hyperbolic, and would realistically, when you look at the facts, when undocumented or not, when immigrants go to a community,
we get
Christian country killed 1 million Muslims in an invasion in the Middle East, and that is the context in which this immigration is taking place.
This?
What's that?
Which country is this?
This was the United States.
The United States
during
is a
the
Christian country.
So George W. Bush during the invasion, very.
I don't know who this guy is. He's kind of a boomer and encountering this stuff for the first time, as you'll see in just a moment.
Directly in terminology, but
very directly said, cited God. Yes, if you look at the statistics, if you look at the statistics of
he wasn't doing it for Christian reasons.
Almost all of almost every person in power in this country is Christian.
I'm an atheist, so I don't know what. But I'm just glad that you were honest with me and said there's no upper limit to illegal immigration in Western Europe, because you're going to get the society that you want.
Well, and I think that would be a better society. And the reality is,
we're about to find out.
I
You
think the
are what
reality
they
is,
call, and I've never really encountered one, and I'm happy to do so. And this isn't an offense, but you are what they call a woke person, aren't you?
yeah, I would say so. I think.
And what you experienced when you stormed out, that's called triggering.
This is like a generational
Nah,
cultural
he's
exchange right now.
trolling him, right? Surely.
I don't think so. The way he talks, the way he carries himself.
Was I triggered when you when somebody called?
This is all new to me. He's being serious. Now, fellas.
So apparently the guy Bogosian is talking to is Raymond Ibrahim, Egyptian Coptic Christian, apologist for Christianity, focuses on the Quran.
That makes complete sense in the context of their conversation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
So the man on the left, his people created the man on the right, his people. Okay.
Oh, it's Shabbos chestnut tree.
So this conversation is absolutely fascinating to me because this is created by the Moos, and now the Moo is interacting with him. By the way, again, this is impromptu. This is completely impromptu.
So wait, where did they was Shabbos just like hanging around in like his Moo closet or something?
The first hour and 5 minutes is Shabbos talking to Peter Bogosian for the first hour and 5 minutes.
Oh, and then they
As you can
bring
see,
on the
look at the scrubbing thumbnail right now. They're just talking, and this guy was here again, and now he's on camera, and his physiognomy checks out. Okay.
Oof.
He's autistic, right? The guy on the right, look at him. Look at his hair.
He's
You'll see
literally
his face.
He's literally the Mutt America meme.
He's a human stain. And here we go. I love their interaction with each other because Shabbos is like, you idiot, we made you, like the entire time he's talking to him.
Is I'm not saying the majority of Muslims are like this. I've repeatedly and deliberately emphasized that publicly. That this is not the majority of Muslims.
But that is what you imply. That's what I was fact checking. You said that Muslims were more violent. That implies
no, that's not true. It's not that Muslims are more violent. It's again the point I keep making. Muslims are more susceptible to radical Islam, which is objectively the case. And if I'm wrong, then again, can you point? Let me just finish the point. So again,
it's not objectively the case that Muslims are more susceptible to radical Islam. That's not objectively true.
Well, I mean,
we are talking about peak levels of postmodernism, and anything could be anything right now, like an anti-realist.
He's right. I mean, look, you know who are the most susceptible to radical Islam, right? Is the pygmies, right? You know, You're going around being like, you know, right? Like, oh yeah, you know.
I'm so
The
glad we
most
can get
people
away
most-
from your slop and focus on actual current events right now.
Sure.
So if it's not objectively the case, then what you need to do in order to affirm that statement is you need to point to another religious group that takes trucks to run down citizens celebrating a Christmas parade. You need to point to another religious group that shoots up a 10-year-old child celebrating Hanukkah on the beach in Sydney. And you need to point to another religious group that currently is beheading individuals who leave the faith. And if you can't do those things,
So
which you
here's
can't-
where the
wait, let me
logical
finish this point.
fallacy-
Let me finish this point. If you can't point to another religious group that is doing that thing, then you must concede the point that it is not all Muslims, but it is radical Muslims. It is Islamists who are in fact doing that thing. And America is different. We don't want all values. We want American values.
So right now, I agree with FrankenSTEIN, right? Right now, we agree with him about radical Islam. And at this moment in time. So far, I'm on his side, right? It's like
Right,
it's 2016. I'm listening to Ben Shapiro talk to like a dumb leftist right now, right?
Right, but why are they here? Like, you know, who was it that brought them here, right? Like, who is it that changed all the laws that allowed them to like come to the West? I guess we'll never know, bro. So I guess it's like a mystery. Maybe they can cover it on the new X-Files.
This should
or
be
something.
a painting right here. So the FrankenSTEIN on the left, this is the entire thing that's happening. FrankenSTEIN on the left created Frankenstein's monster on the right. So people like Peter Boghossian are always in the center. This entire thing is manufactured. And so this is all created. So the moves create such instability across the West where they go, see how crazy Islam is? So we don't notice what the moves are doing. So the moves are, and this was, Nick Fuentes took flack for this. I gave him flack for this when we were focusing on the Muslims. And he's like, nah, dude. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. The Muslims, sure. I kind of understand what he's saying. Where they have that antagonization, so then we have to worry about that fire and not the fire to put out that is the moose. The entire thing is manufactured. And look at Peter Boghossian right now. Oh, I want to be in the center. I don't want to choose. I don't want to be too right wing. I don't want to be on a side. There's nothing right wing in this conversation, by the way.
And if people don't want to
that's contradiction
subscribe,
of terms, I would say.
It's not.
I would
let me
say
finish the
that
point.
America.
No,
But you're saying a lot of things that I have.
But I need to clarify the point.
It's a
and then you can
contradiction
respond.
of terms. You can't say America values freedom.
Look at this beautiful creature.
But
he is like a
is
mongoloid Will Stancil. Seriously, he's like if you took Will Stancil, right, and gave it a couple of generations of serious inbreeding, that's what you'd get. Fascinating behavior.
That is a beautiful Frankenstein's monster.
Only my freedom. You either have freedom for everyone or you have freedom for no one.
That is categorically not true. And I would encourage you to read the Constitution, where we do have freedom, but is within a legal framework of certain
Exactly,
accepted
like
norms.
religious freedom. So if you
Correct.
don't have religious freedom for everyone, you don't have religious freedom.
I guess, again, I'm trying.
Can you even unpack that argument? If you don't have religious freedom for everyone, then you don't have religious freedom. This, like, he probably thinks he's a liberal, right? On the right. Does he seem like he thinks he's a commie?
Yeah, but this is literally the Mooish argument, right? Like you're right. It's like literally like their dinner, like repeating on them. It's so weird.
Right?
Like,
but right now, Shabbos Kessenbaum, I'm sorry, FrankenSTEIN has to be the person that's on the right in this conversation because he was on the left. He voted Democrat, and then he saw how the Columbia students, the pro-Palestine people, were treating the moves, and now he's on the right. Okay, he's not playing both sides. Now he's on the right. Seeing how crazy
It's
the left is.
specifically Western Europe, not Eastern Europe. I think what you mean.
I would say that one form of violence is not worse or better than another form of violence. And I would say that
logical
fallacy.
Yep.
What the fuck,
dude? It's
does
like,
that
it's a
even
monster.
mean?
He's made from lesser goys. Okay, he's an amalgamation of lesser beings before
So,
him that
so
are all
if you
together.
so if you said to him, which would you prefer, right? Caning or scarfism? He'd be like, oh yeah, they're all basically the same. Like, what the hell, man?
You heard what he said, right?
Oh,
he stands by it.
You're like saying Muslims are more likely to commit, and then you name acts that are specifically defined by being perpetuated by Muslims, and that's
The fallacy.
Well, what else should I do?
Okay, hold on.
I would say we should assess violence in general.
Let me ask you both a question to answer this question directly and succinctly. And the question to both of you is as following. Are Muslims more prone to commit violence is the first question. And the second one is implicit in that is than non-Muslims. And the second question is, are Muslims more prone to commit terrorism than insert religion of your choice? So let's go for the first one for you. Are Muslims more prone to commit violence? Yes.
If you are defining violence as, I think what you're describing violence as random acts of violence, then no, I would agree with you.
Okay, that is.
Okay, hold on, let him finish.
But I just want to clarify that is a contradiction of what you said earlier.
Hold on, let him,
you
wait,
made a
wait,
specific claim.
Let him finish, and then you're going to get a chance.
That was
okay. Hold on, let him finish.
Here's the specific
claim.
claim. Muslims are far more susceptible to radical Islam than anybody else. I would find it an odd argument to make that Jews would be somehow, or a Christian would be somehow pressured or felt the appeal to fundamentally carry out terrorist attacks in the name of Allah while shouting Allah Akbar.
Okay.
Now, let me answer the first part of the question though. As it pertains to violence, I agree with you. Everyone is susceptible to violence, which is why we need strong laws and strong governments that are tough on crime.
Okay.
So let's agree on this, that whether it is random acts or violence or terrorism, there should be strong laws for both.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that I understand. So the question is, what are Muslims more prone to commit violence? Your answer is no.
No, I don't see any data. That's
but the question. Wait, no. Wait. You have to let people finish.
Absolutely. I just want to say.
Okay. No. There's no saying anything. You have to let him finish, and he has to let you finish
for a second, right? This is entirely the stupidest question to ask. Okay, there are like
Peter's trying to start at the beginning right now. You know,
there's like a billion Muslims in the world, or something like that, like some insane number, right? The question to ask is not necessarily about religion; it's about nationality, right? So if you talk about the struggle snuggle gangs in the UK, they're all from Mirpur in Pakistan. Right. So if you asked, right, are Mirpuris from Pakistan more likely to engage in industrial scale snuggle struggling?
Industrial.
The answer
the industrial revolution of struggle snuggles.
The answer is yes, right? That does not, like, as far as I'm aware, there aren't like a buttload of like people from the United Arab Emirates doing that. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, it's such a wide category.
Yeah,
where it's almost meaningless, right? You can't really get to the heart of the issue, which the
correct.
Moo loves. The Moo kit loves that, can mold that into anything.
So I'm going to go back to the beginning again and ask you that question again. Are Muslims more prone to commit violence in general than non-Muslims?
No.
Okay, that's it. Okay. Second question. Are Muslims more prone to commit terrorism specifically than...
Emphatically, there have been since 9/11, 45,000 attacks carried out by radical Muslims, often discriminating or targeting Muslims specifically. In fact, the biggest victims of Islamism are Muslims.
So the answer is yes.
Unquestionably.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you the same questions.
Thank you.
And we're going to be quiet.
And that's, again, this is part of being a fellow atheist. It's hard. You might agree with the statement that it's.
What? You okay? Did you hit your knee or something? All right.
He's an atheist. I couldn't. I just how like.
Can we agree he has very atheist hair? Can we agree on that?
Mate, he is the atheist physiognomy personified.
I look exactly like him, okay? I look exactly like him.
He should be a fucking Reddit mascot. Yeah, well, I would doubt that. I don't think you would have the same tarted micro expressions, Artie. Something tells me this guy's not fasting.
I'm being silly.
Harder to debunk things than to put out false information. So I am going to have to rely on chat.
Okay, now we're going to...
What, is he using chat GPT?
The entire time, yeah. The entire time he's trying to fact check everything FrankenSTEIN is saying, even though he's going to try and fact check what FrankenSTEIN is saying, even though he like literally brought the case against Colombia, like legally. And he's going to be trying to fact check him according to what chat GPT says.
Well, I mean, as long as he's using an unbiased source, right? You know.
No, but in the beginning he goes, now I know it's not perfect, but it's all that we have to fact check. Yeah, I need answers. I need answers, and I need them from my phone to be objective. It's autism. That's high functioning autism is what we're dealing with.
Oh my god.
Which is great because those people are like their mask off, right? They're not concealing any strategy. You can see the propaganda they've been put through by how they're behaving. They can't control it. It's compulsive.
You said no. When I asked you that question, you said no. So you agreed on that. Then I asked the second question. Are Muslims more prone to commit terrorism? there's no insert country of origin. Are Muslims more prone to commit terrorism? And you said yes.
Yes.
Now I'm going to ask you that same question. Are Muslims more prone to commit terrorism?
I would say that according to, and I think we should first answer in the U.S. because.
Okay. Are Muslims more prone to commit terrorism?
I would say no.
Okay.
I would say that that's a more complicated question. We're talking about.
I'm sorry. What did he just say?
It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all.
It's really
every fucking time. Wait, super chats before you get on. Andrew's animatics for €2. Thank you very much, mate. Remigration is the moderate solution with many emojis. Thank you very much, mate.
Very nice.
See a site for $5. I'll got to do this. A fella is never late, fellas, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Thanks very much.
All are welcome in the house of fellas.
Soul on the Lich for 100 arse.
Bro. Was that last super chat kind of liturgic?
Sorry?
Was that last super chat kind of liturgic?
The one from
where whenever you arrive, as long as you arrive.
I mean, it's sort of yeah. I mean, it's orthodox. Like you know, I don't think the Catholics feel like that though. I think they're all like, you must come along. There's a group that closes your bank accounts for making accurate observations about historical events. I have no idea what it is you're talking about there.
That's like saying people of color or saying like LGBT. It's just saying a really simple concept in a very long way.
Jack Beanable for $5. Thank you, mate. How does a fella access this nebulous background group community you alluded to earlier of Freemason? I mean, fellow members. Message me on
Contact
Twitter.
Ardent Party is what you would do.
Yeah, or message me on Twitter.
Or him.
I'll hook you up if you pass the test of the fella.
He has passed. He is granted.
Right. Okay. Arakin Greenmoon, how you doing? For 50 knockers, are the moves really that smart, or did they get handed 3,000 years ago? A really good meta that works right up until you learn the counter.
Well, the meta is lying.
And nepotism and intense legalism. But yeah, I mean, it is a good meta, right? I mean, it's just not sustainable. That's why they have to keep like moving, because like it's like extractive mining or something like that. You know what I mean, right? Like eventually, like, you know, it burns down wherever they are, and then they got to like move on.
And instead of addressing that within themselves, that it's not sustainable, they just say that the climate's not sustainable. They project that energy externally instead of into themselves.
Yeah. Creamer Slinger, 3 months membership. Thank you very much. Random act of violence. Violence is violence. Yes, remember, kids. Violence is violence. Yeah. And King Spectre for $10.
Hi there, bro.
Thank you very much. The parable of the golem and its adaptations, like Frankenstein, has such a clear lesson, yet the suds and shades refuse to understand it on purpose. Yeah, it really is a fascinating story.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it really, really is.
Especially when I was watching the 1910 version, that's like 12 minutes long. Of course, very crudely shot, but it's it really cuts through the story where he created a monster that is just chaotic and attacks him. It's incredible.
My favorite is the version from Prague, the Golem of Prague. Although I think I've said this before, in my personal headcanon, it's not the in the Prague version, right? The rabbi creates the golem out of like clay, and he puts the word like life on its forehead, or puts like a scroll in its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the way Hebrew works, you can delete one letter and it turns from life into death. And the whole thing is that the golem has to be given 1 day of rest a week, which turns out to be Sunday. Allegorical maybe, right?
Wow.
And the golem is like, he's very, very helpful. He like works around the synagogue. He protects the synagogue from like, you know, the Christians in the area and stuff like that. And then the rabbi, he gets old, he gets lazy, and he stops giving the golem the day off. And eventually the golem goes insane and trashes the synagogue. And in my personal headcanon, what happens is that the original rabbi dies and he leaves it to his son, who is much more spoiled and just sort of like sloppy. And the reason I sort of in my headcanon it's like that is because I see parallel between like the old school sort of gigamoos like Kissinger and, you know, they really fucking knew what they were doing, man. And the sort of the new like crop of people like, I don't know, like Levin and Shapiro, who just seem like a lot less switched on, right? They're just much more like,
it's the same thing that the Goy has gone through, where things have been given to us, right?
Yes,
it's been given to them, so they, you know, you can't teach it. You have to go through it. This is how the cycle of history repeats.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, wait. New GM for $10. Thank
you
very much. Centrists don't like moderate solutions. They only consider moderate solutions.
Wow, they're moderates. It was right there the whole time. That could have been mine.
Mate,
I could have put that on the wall, but it's not mine, and now I can't have it. That's
everything
good.
in moderation.
They're moderates. That's really what they are. You can't,
King Spectre.
Yep.
Sorry, go on.
I mean, how are you going to be a moderate and not be Mooish? who are the non like that? Just if you're a moderate, that just means that you support Israel. How can you? That's every single time.
King Spectre for $5. Stick bundles like this one are why I went back to church after college. I made a very concerted effort not to end up like these heathens. Yeah, I mean, look at the state of it. My God, man.
I fought it off raw, fellas. Okay. But here's the thing. I haven't read any of your little books, all right? But I have been coming, it seems like, right, from my own experience, somehow to very oddly specifically similar conclusions, right? Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, it is.
I took the hard way. I always do things the hard way, and this is
but
no exception.
I mean, I also took the hard way, right?
Yeah.
But it does teach you a lot on the way, right? Like, you know, you sort of you wind up there and people's like, well, how is it that you came to this place? You'd be like, you know, well, you know, I didn't just like rock up, you know, I went through like a lot of shit. Like, I think it makes you appreciate like where you get to.
Well, definitely, I can say with 100% confidence that a part of me has always been this way, though. I just wasn't in like an environment where I could express it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. So on the Lich for another 100 arse, mate.
There he is, Rucker.
He's the arse champion. He's got a lot of arse coming around. When Dr. FrankenSTEIN decided we must force behaviors, he collected body parts from the lowest T soy boys to create the supreme Saturday serpent.
Dude, look at him. He's made of lesser parts. Okay.
Oh my God, that's freaking hilarious.
Why is the front of his hair wet, but the back isn't? There's just questions I have.
Theodore McCarthy for 10 million.
Here he is. Thank you, Rob.
Wait, I got a new sticker for
very nice
liturgical stuff.
The
liturgical quote is, "If any have arrived only at the 11th hour, let him not be afraid, because he comes so late. For the master is generous and accepts the last even as the first."
Wow. See, that shit. Where's that shit been? I missed that whole part the entire time, you know?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Theodore.
That shit's motivating right there.
I know. There's so many great motivational quotes in Orthodoxy, man. Like, it's just really, really, really good. And Theodore McCarthy again for $2. The other quote was from Gandalf the Grey.
Is he being a trickster?
Oh, dude. Thank you very much. Right. Super chats have been achieved. Let's get back to this.
More punishment.
More punishment.
Who's ready for Mooenstein? Who's ready?
Years.
What does that mean?
Hang on.
Though,
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Assimilation means that you believe in democracy. You believe that people have the freedom to choose who they want to marry, who or what religion they want to believe in. That they believe that America is an exceptional country. If your name, as I said, is
I think that part of being an American is you don't have to believe that America is exceptional.
You have to finish. If you want to come into this country, you should believe in those things, whether your name is Mahmoud Khalil or Jewy Jewstein. What I am making the distinction is Islamists, and if it's true of radical Jews or radical Christians, then I would include them too. But let's call a spade a spade. You don't have in.
Okay. So he brings up the concept of radical moves. Okay. Now, when we say fundamentalist Muslims, we're talking about Islamists. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we not call them fundamentalist moves?
Because that's very anti-citrus.
Good.
Right? Like,
Orthodox is only reserved for Christians. I told my mom about Orthodox Christianity. She goes, it reminds me of Orthodox Moodyism. At that point, I'm like, okay, well, we're not We're taking the words. This is what they do. We're taking words. Orthodox is reserved for Christianity. They're fundamentalist moose. They're not Orthodox. That doesn't mean anything when they say it.
Oh, I like that. I'm
Right?
going to use that. Yep.
Nearly the same numbers of radical Christians and radical Jews who are applying to become citizens of the United States who fundamentally do not share American values.
And
when
that's
you
a claim
say,
I
"Give me
don't
10
think
more
you have
seconds,"
evidence.
Now, I know we had a stream a few days ago about how they don't assimilate the fundamentalist moose in New Jersey.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
Funny how this only works with the Muslims, but not with the admitted moose who will defend in a school board, by the way, that the reasons why they're not going to assimilate. So
Yeah,
they
well,
openly say they're not going to assimilate.
You gotta understand, right? Their lack of assimilation was promised to them 3,000 years ago, right? Like, and I'm only half joking, actually, right? Like, it's a big part of the Moorish identity to maintain this sort of this separation. And again, I can respect that. I just want to also have the same rights to.
One calls us infidel, one calls us goy. What do we call them? Countrymen. Kind of asymmetrical, don't you think? It's built into the religion.
Crime. Those are completely different issues. But I would say
now, FrankenSTEIN asks a very good question here. It's a question that we wouldn't mind asking.
For example, freedom of speech includes the right to say, I hate America.
So let me ask you,
without government interference. That's freedom of speech. That is fundamentally different than a crime or something like that.
So then let me ask you, just because I'm curious, forget about the legalities. I'm more curious about the idea behind it. Why specifically do you want someone who hates America to come to America? Forget about the legalities. I'm just curious why you want that.
I would say that it's a non-issue. And that I'd say that somebody who is
like just completely hand waves it. Great question, by the way. Just completely hand waves it. And I don't mean to do this to anybody, but I do mean to do it to you. Do we all hear his mouth noises, by the way? Does anybody else notice that?
Yes.
That's just peak Reddit.
And the reason why I'm attacking the idea is because I think it's a false premise in the first place. Because, but it's a non-issue. I don't think someone would come here if they didn't like something about America.
That's a child's view of the world. I don't think somebody would come here if they didn't like it, especially when we make it really easy for them to come here and they talk about how they come here and don't like it and wave another country's flag. And they literally talk about how they're invading the country. You just can't even imagine. Why would somebody go to a country if they don't like it?
Oh, dude.
Look at that. Look at that mass in front of you.
Oh, dude.
But here's the issue, and this is why we're disentangling it. You want to limit who comes here based on an arbitrary set of criteria, which you describe as American values. And I would say that the ultimate American value is the freedom of expression. So
okay, hold on.
So this is what's funny. So now we have the left moo against the right moo, right? The left moo is like you have to have unlimited liberalism and freedom. And then we see FrankenSTEIN, the right moo, go, well, that's affecting me because we're getting beat up on campus. So now we have to just completely pivot and change it.
Up until that point, it was like totally fine.
There's like, yeah, exactly. Instead of between two ferns, Peter Boghossian is between two moos right now. So it's time for Shabbos to turn up the heat over here.
I mean, I gotta say, I am rooting for Shabbos in this
right now,
in this conversation right now. Like,
well, and this is the perfect analogy, isn't it? How do you think Ben Shapiro got so much support in 2015, 2016? Because they've created something so hateable where then Ben Shapiro comes in and goes, wow, there's actually two genders. We go, wow, this guy's actually talking sense over here. That's the whole point of that manufactured crisis.
And this is why they never debate people on the actual right. Because they know that everyone hates this kind of like stuff, right? No one's going to like listen to this dude.
Can you believe that they're just calling me racist? Okay, why don't you debate Nick Fuentes? Well, he's anti-Semitic. Just like that. It's in the blink of an eye. They do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I'd say there should really probably be only one criteria, which is, if you're currently wanted by a foreign government, and we know that, like for a crime, like if you're like on the lam, so to speak. Second is, if we have credible information you intend to commit a crime. And I would say that's, and honestly, I would keep it to those two.
Can I ask though, because you just said the intent to commit a crime, but that's sort of contradicted by your earlier assessment against freedom of speech. So I had said, if you're an immigrant coming from a third world country and you write on your visa application, your citizenship application, that I'm going to marry a 6-year-old, I'm going to fuck her, and I'm going to have kids with her.
Well, that would be a
hang on.
crime.
But earlier you said, well,
that's not freedom of speech. That's
but earlier you said that
crime.
was freedom of speech.
Okay, so freedom of speech, the line between freedom of speech and committing a crime, as you know, can be sophisticated. So, for example, and courts have, litigated this, and sometimes it can be
almost drooling. Did you see him have to wipe his mouth, dude? It's so red.
The line between freedom of speech and
Pause
crime,
it,
as you know,
It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all.
It's sophisticated, right? You want to know what else is sophisticated? The psychological torment done to James Lindsay by calling him Jimmy Concepts, which is what he said to Jordan Peterson. It's when these people use the word sophisticated, it's in the most crude, blunt way possible. Okay.
Be sophisticated. So, for example, and
I just gotta get I have some lunch in my
courts have, litigated this, and sometimes it can be complex. So, for example, it is totally legal to say, I think we should have a different president. But if you say that in a violent way, it may or may not be legal. So you're asking about very specifically nuance. If someone is saying in their visa application, I intend to commit a crime, whether that's speech or not, I think that would really rely very specifically on the specifics of it. But in general, we should
very specifically on the specifics of it, but in general.
Oh, God.
Shabos love to hear that. He goes, yes. Yes, my monster. That's exactly how I programmed you to talk.
My creation.
Yes!
It lives. My creation lives.
Brain is just absolutely scrambled, wreaking havoc all over the country.
Made of soy and atheism.
Just so everyone can go, Professor Frankenstein, please make it. Only you can make this golem go away.
Not be discriminating based on basic general ideas that would be covered under freedom of speech.
We're running low on time. I
understand that.
I just want to ask a few final questions. I'll ask you the first question because I asked you the first question before. What is the number one idea that he expressed either in the conversation or subsequent in the conversation, either in my conversation with him or your conversation with him, that you have fundamental disagreements with? Like, what is if you can encapsulate that in a single sentence, what would it be?
The fundamental thing I disagree with is that a person who is Muslim is more dangerous than a person who is Jewish, a person who is an atheist. I would say that part of freedom of religion is respecting that.
Okay, just a second. Okay. Do you believe that a person who is Muslim is more dangerous?
For the many times, no, that's not what I'm saying. The point of contention I think you're having is when I say that Muslims.
I love how he now has to go through what the goy goes through. Having these absolute dead end arguments like, well, I did create it, so no, let me just clarify again because I get to go home and have my own, cohesive culture, so I can put up with this for a little bit. Meanwhile, Goy is out there screaming at him because he has nothing to go home to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Are more susceptible to radical Islam. And again, if you want to disagree with that,
I think you're using word tricks to
those are just word tricks. He's like, wow, I created such a monster. Oh my God. He's like, those are just word tricks.
Those are just word tricks. And the thing is as well, right, is like, when it comes to Islam, this guy is like perfectly ignorant, right? Like an untrammeled mind, right? Like just a brain so smooth you could skip stones off it, right? Like he knows nothing of like Al-Qaeda. He doesn't know who Sayyid Qutb is.
That's unfair.
He doesn't know, like, anything about like Islamism, right? He probably just thinks that like Muslims are basically like atheists with like weird hats.
The non-whites, non-Christians get unlimited liberty, and then we get the most restricted, limited liberty possible. But I need you to really bask in the beauty of something. He is saying, like, I need to hear it again. He's saying exactly, to say to FrankenSTEIN over here that he's using word tricks, out of all the times, like to accuse a Moo of using word tricks, it's when he's being explicitly not using word tricks and he's being completely literal. Out of all the times to levy that accusation, dude, they somehow program them to understand all the tactics, but they only use it against the Goy and against the whites and against the Christians. They understand. It's like with James Lindsay. There's a force field around the Moo where it's like, I think you're using word tricks, and it's like he just said 2 + 2 = 4. Like out of all the times to accuse him of that, you were picking the wrong time. It's incredible.
Is when I say that Muslims are more susceptible to radical Islam. And again, if you want to disagree with that,
I think
then
you're using word tricks to basically say the same thing.
No, I'm not saying the same thing. You seem to be making the point that I am arguing that.
And he learned that from the Moos. When we say a fact, they say to us, "This is what you really mean by your fact," and it's anti-Semitic, right?
Yeah.
He's trying that on the Moo, and the Moo is like, "Okay, dude, yeah. Where do you think you learned it from, you idiot?
Don't quote the ancient wisdom to me. I was there when it was created.
How is it not that? And he's playing the perfect position where he used to be a Democrat, and now is the sane, sensible person on the right. So now this is perfect too. He thinks that he's going to say to FrankenSTEIN that like Trump is more dangerous for Mooish people. Okay, he's picking the worst time to say that. He's going to
believe that thing. What is something else, a fundamental disagreement you have, not a trivia one, but a fundamental thing that he said either in my conversation with you or your conversation? What is something that he said that you find either particularly odious or what is your fundamental in one single sentence?
I'm just checking my notes.
Okay.
I think there's a lot.
Just one sentence.
But I understand that. One of my fundamental disagreements is that voting Republican and voting for Donald Trump is anyway making the world safer for Jewish people. I think that the Republicans and the right-wing party are the by far more anti-Semitic party. And
okay, so that's in one sentence.
That is my disagreement. Okay.
I'd like you to answer that, please. Do you believe that?
Sure. Well, I'll put it this way. I was at the White House. What day is today? I was at the White House 2 nights ago, and certainly the released hostages who were with me at the White House last night thinking.
I mean, what he's going to say is what we would all say. Well, he just had like all these fucking moves there. We show how they put on feasts, kosher feasts for moves that go there. So I mean, it's going to be a pretty tough argument, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you're going to like say that the Trump administration is bad for the moves, right? We're about to go
behind. He's a step behind where he's the anti-Semitic, bad, pro-white guy.
We're about to glass Iran, bro, right? Like they're getting everything they want.
Donald Trump would certainly disagree with that assertion. What I would say is, as someone who registered as a Democrat the day I turned 18, as someone who only voted for Democrats, I was appalled when I was testifying in front of Congress, when I was lobbying on Capitol Hill. I was appalled that we could not find more than 5 or 6 Democratic members of Congress who were willing to say that they were going to defund universities that fundamentally violate the civil rights of Jewish students. I was appalled to see that dozens of elected members of Congress, all Democrats, were calling on Joe Biden to have an arms embargo against Israel while they were fighting Hamas. I was appalled to see elected leaders or candidates like Zohar Mamdani refusing to condemn calls for the globalization of the Intifada. And I wish I didn't have to vote for a Republican. I voted for a Republican because the Democrats refuse to take this issue seriously.
Okay.
Right. Pause it. Right. So he's just basically saying, right, he was a Democrat right up until the point at which they went against his interests as a moo.
100%.
And now he's a Republican because the Republicans are backing his interest as a moo, right? So he is just simply repping for his ethnic interest group. Again, fair enough, right?
No. Religious. He's wearing the little hat. Okay. It's also religious.
Why can't we do that? Like why? That's literally exactly what Fuentes is doing. Like, oh God.
He's playing by the rules, and they don't like that. In the same way that they've told the blacks to say, "Oh, the white people are holding us back because they're afraid of what we're going to do." It's true about white people. It's just they put that energy. They put the truth into the wrong vessel, so to speak.
Yeah.
100%. But first, did that, you asked him a direct question. Did his response answer your question directly?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I would say that another fundamental disagreement we have is that you are conflating support for Israel.
Okay, so this is the third thing. This is your third disagreement you have.
Perhaps, yeah, but it's in response to what you just said, because essentially you're arguing that the Democrats don't support Israel as much, therefore they're more anti-Semitic. And I would say,
let him finish. Let him go.
And I would say that those are fundamentally different issues that you can criticize.
Okay, hold on. Are you saying that the Democrats don't support Israel, therefore they're...
The argument is going to be that the Colombia protesters were protesting Israel, and then Shabbos is going to go, but they're punching Jews in the face because they're punching moose in the face because they're moose. So,
yeah, but didn't the IDF like ship in a whole bunch of people to attack the protesters?
I don't know.
Yeah. The IDF like shipped in like a bunch of people to like attack the protesters. I remember seeing the footage.
Yeah, but how could they do that? There's such a small group of people.
How
could they enlist a foreign military to come in to fight on behalf of them? There's just little old me. Tee-hee.
All of your criticisms of the Democrats being anti-Semitic essentially hinged on their support for Israel's war against Palestine.
I guess I'm
correct.
No, I guess I'm confused how refusing to defund Columbia University that was found to have discriminated against Jewish American students has anything to do with Israel.
I think we would have to fact check that because I think what you're defining as discrimination is literally disagreement with Israel's war.
That is fundamentally untrue. I would like you to
fact check.
I will tell you right now. I would like you to please articulate how Jonathan Leder, who was physically assaulted by a student at Columbia University, had anything to do with Israel or free speech. I would like you to please articulate how Eden Yadigar at Columbia University, who was given death, hang on, let me finish because
He just starts
friend had their
listing
nose
off.
broken by another student
Look at his
over
shaking
their
legs
support
right
for
now.
Israel has anything to do with free speech.
Hate crimes are bad. Hate crimes are bad no matter who they're against.
Correct. So again,
hate
so-
crimes are
hang on, hang on.
Hate crimes are bad. Hate is bad.
Right. We're
shut
maxing out on this right now. Exactly.
You're giving me brain cancer, right? Like,
Sorry, I'm showing you what's going on in the world, Fist. Okay.
It's literally giving me brain cancer.
I
I'm
love
billing you for my next fucking cancer appointment, mate.
I can't eat, so I have to make you sad.
And the second claim is Harvard did not take those physical assaults seriously.
Correct. They did not investigate or cooperate with the DA of Cambridge.
Okay, but would you agree that those are the two claims we're discussing?
Two of many claims, but sure.
Right, but those are fundamental claims that we need before we
Yes,
talk about defunding or
Yeah.
anything else. Does the first claim that students for Harvard were physically assaulted, does that need to be does that require a fact check from you?
You can fact check it right now. The
No,
Department of Justice already investigated.
I believe that
Yes,
hate
yes or
crimes
no?
happen, and
Okay.
and
So you agree with claim one?
I'm not disputing it.
Okay. What about claim two? And again, there are other claims. I just want to make sure that, to my mind, these are the fundamental claims before we can talk about anything else. Harvard didn't take those physical assaults seriously. Do you agree with that?
That is what I would want to fact check and look into.
You can do it right now. The Department of Justice already investigated Harvard University along with the Department of Education. They had found that Harvard was
Okay, this is two different IQs talking to each other. Okay, we can wind this down. It's literally like
Yeah, I mean-
going from one to the. I don't know why Peter Boghossian loves facilitating this. I don't know what his kink is, how he enjoys this.
Because Boghossian, I think, actually believes that through dialogue, everyone
Still.
can come together. Because what was the name of that book he wrote? How to Have Conversations with Difficult People. I got about a third of the way through it. And I was he's and look, to be fair,
That might work with family members. Okay,
The,
But not against people will just she'll want to kill you.
he's using those techniques, right? Like the way he starts a conversation, the way he ends the conversation, the way he gets people to clarify. All these are sort of conversational tricks to try and bring people together. But I just personally, man, I think there are irreconcilable differences that you can't bridge the gap between. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to put you through any more of that. We can dial it down now.
Oh, my growing tumor, thanks you, mate.
I do have something really important to show everybody. And I think we all feel the same way. I mean, that's fellas. I don't think that's just me. Let's be honest, okay? A part of Lent, is being honest in your sin, okay? And so
I could fix it, bro. Right?
Do you have a little more, Lindsay? Honestly, just go through just 3 minutes of going through Lindsay's X account.
Okay. It's like that joke, an hour lifting weights versus 1 minute listening to a woman. Kind of okay. Let's see what Lindsay's up to. Wait, we've got a couple of super chats though as well.
Oh sure.
King Spectre for $10. Guys, you can't be. Wait,
not a problem.
Sorry about that, Spectre.
I love that.
Guys, you can't be leaving my chats on screen for so long. The profile picture just makes me giggle to the point I have to go back and listen to what you said again.
It's something special. It really is something caught in the act.
It is very special. New GM for $5. Thank you, mate. The Grizzly Elves are the result of God answering the question, what if an entire ethnicity and religion was based entirely around having daddy issues? Creamer Slinger for $10. Look at him go. You got to hit the thing.
Oh, yes.
Have you guys noticed that people like this walking Brillo pad always say that everything is arbitrary, thinking it's all a universal explanation when arbitrary is literally just subjective? Or that, I mean,
the monster believes things are arbitrary. The one that created the monster knows they're not, but knows that he has to think things are arbitrary.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, right, every single distinction is arbitrary at some point, right? Because there's got to be like a dividing line between two things. Like
this is what's important. I think this is the crux of the orthodox argument in a lot of these conversations, because they have a mover, right? Like nothing is necessarily arbitrary to you.
Yeah.
In the aggregate sense.
Okay.
You know, you don't believe in ambivalence the same way a non-believer does.
Well, like atheists don't really have any principles, man, is the problem.
I know.
Okay, so wait, what do we got? Oh, he's talking about Jeremy Boring. Why are we doing this? Why are we on Lindsay's page?
Because when we're not live, I'll thumb through and go, "Oh, dude, I want that. There's that, and there's too many of them."
Okay.
Have you ever noticed that he'll retweet like the same thing over and over?
What the fuck is this?
Okay.
Work
So
right.
yeah. So in the
Next
same way
up.
that you're making fun of them, they're making fun of you for having ridiculous pictures.
Oh, I see. See, it's supposed to be a duck, but instead you see a mooish duck, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Omar. Muslims will continue voting very left wing until their numbers grow large enough to vote Muslim. Well, yeah, that's basically right. He doesn't seem to be. Iranians aren't even Muslims though.
What does
well,
that
there
mean?
you go.
What can you decipher that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I think Lindsay is using his titanic intellect to distinguish between the Sunni and the Shia, right? The two major branches of Islam that revolve around the secession of Ali Hussein, who was Muhammad's grandson, I believe, right? So the Shia believe that Ali Hussein was cheated out of the secession of Muhammad, and the Sunni believe that whoever it was who actually got the secession was the right one. I think I've got that like right.
Are you really thinking he means that?
Yeah. I mean, he goes around like telling Christians they aren't really Christians all the fucking time, right? I'm sure he's like on the question of the secession of the grandson of Muhammad, Lindsay has delivered his fatwa handed down upon high his ruling under Islamic jurisprudence and declared the Sunni as the winner. So there you go, mate, right? It's, many hundreds of years this has been like a problem, but fortunately Lindsay is here to clear that all up. So, he's putting the work in. He's putting the work in. Oh my God. Oh, he's so counter jihad now, right? Should we bomb podcasters?
Do you remember what Podcastistan is?
What is? Are we Podcastistan? I don't understand.
I made a video on that when Konstantin Kisin came up with Podcastistan, where they had to make up something nebulous, and that's like the alt media that's taken off. That's like really fucking up their narrative.
Right.
That's Podcastistan, and then they do the same thing that he did the same thing. It didn't stick. It didn't stick at all.
Yeah, right. Maybe he's bringing it back for a reunion tour, right? Hoping this time it'll stick. But Podcastistan,
they're getting desperate.
See, I mean, like that would suggest that it had like an Islamic influence. That's the way everybody uses stan as a suffix, right? Londonistan, Manchesteristan, right? Birminghamstan, like I don't know what you'd call it. The woke pod. The right.
They need to make a group and put you in it. They need to do it. It's the only thing they have to do.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Jeremy Boring on the rise of grift and conspiracy media. Maybe we should check that out. there might be some like interesting shit to like mine in that. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Like enough of the Lindsay. We got a final super chat.
Yeah.
As well. Isaac. Oh, good to see you, mate.
There he is, brother.
Look at him go. Sorry, I'm late. $14.88. I was at work at the auction house. Jeps is the folder man. Mailman. I don't understand, but thank you, Isaac. It's good to see you, mate. I hope your work went all right, and it wasn't completely fucking retarded for you, man.
Uncontrollably appreciated.
Is that all we got? Yeah, that's it, bro. That's it. That's
so.
Oh no, wait. Hang on, we got a final one.
Hold up. We them boys.
New GM for $10.
Thank you, bro.
Honestly, Anna might have been born to fight a meme war with the Moose. She's lefty. She's Armenian. So Holly defenses are built in, and she can challenge them nose for nose.
True. However, it took a homeless man dry humping her for her to go, wait a minute, something's wrong here. So it's also the amount that it takes to switch someone is also built into the discernment factor. Now, physically, what he's saying, an absolute warrior. She's the chin of an American action figure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it makes me wonder what it is that moved her on the Mooish question, like. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
It's the criticism of Israel and how experiencing that she's not allowed to talk about it because she's been on the side of the Moos the whole time against anti-Semitism, and now all of a sudden they're calling her anti-Semite. When they turn on you, you go, ruh-roh, that feels different.
They have really been lashing out and making a lot of enemies that could have otherwise been allies. I mean, look at Megyn Kelly, right? She's all like, but I mean, look, they got a war to fight. So, and look, and once the war kicks off, they'll be able to start using like wartime powers on people. I suspect that's like what they're waiting for.
Wartime powers.
Yeah. They'll be like, you're not allowed to criticize the war because, we're at war or something, Yeah. Anyway, bros. We out of here. Thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Fellas, I'm sending you over to Made by Jim Bob's streaming co-host, who is streaming solo right now, as they do after their show every time. And I might hop on and talk to him in a half hour or so, possibly. So if you want to, he's unbelievably weird. He's one of the weirdest people on the internet. So I don't know what's good. I can't plan anything with this guy. I'm at his whim. Okay. So if you want to hang out there, absolutely. I'm warning you right now. He's unbelievably fucking strange. Okay.
Final super chat. Just in before the closing bell. Aram fell for $5. Thank you, mate. You fellas need to check out the @Bordeaux show. He's a beautiful Georgian ortho bro. His vid from 2 weeks ago was great. A gift of the algorithm. Well, thank you very much.
Very interesting. Good plug.
Don't forget to check out Fistory on Monday. The History of the Moose in England Part 4. And I got another thing coming out tomorrow. Me and William from Incel Riot are talking about what if the deep state was your friend. He's got this whole idea that actually the war isn't like really against Iran. So we're just, shooting the shit. I'm doing like more sort of just weird sort of like random conspiracy stuff because it's kind of like funny. I've got another thing coming out like soon as well.
It's nice to have people to do it for, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's also extra fun.
All right, take care, fellas. We have the best fellas. Good night.
I got the best fellas. I tried to warn you. It's unbelievably weird. Here you go.
And again, don't take my word for it as Shabbos Kestenbaum, the Jewy Jew.
Guardian fist, guardian fist. You can be sure that we're both on a list. Guardian fist, guardian fist. You can be sure that we make the moose pissed. Streaming through history, uncovering mysteries as to why the whites are living in misery. We keep the audience salivating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of of the ever-evolving small hat wizardry.